season of the Southern Football League, presented by Filming Footy. Your match of the day today is the reigning Premier Port Noarlunga, who will unveil their drought-breaking flag against arguably the benchmark of this competition of the last 4 to 5 years in Reynella. If there's any signs of a premiership hangover for the Cockle Divers, we'll be sure to find out today as they take on the Wineflies, who prior to 2025 have been the benchmark, winning 2 out of the last 4 premierships. Thanks to our major sponsor today, ProBuild Australia, for bringing you today's match, and our other sponsors, Air Diffusion and the Aussie Inn at Hackham. And of course, with thanks to Filming Footy, this is the Southern Football League. Footy fans, we've got the stream team here for today's match of the round, the first one of the 2026 season. Myself, Jack Bamwell, Matt Gale here, and Oliver Riddle to my left. We'll have Phil Hurden in next week, so don't be afraid. Phil is ready to rock and roll for next week. Matty Gale, footy's back. How bloody good? The weather's not too good, but footy's good. Can't be mad.
Yeah, can't be mad. It's winter conditions down here at Port Noarlunga, that's for sure. But I'm really looking forward to see the Marshman-Sproul combination, 89 goals and 77 respectively last year. Unfurling of the flag here at Port Noarlunga. Massive day, 2024 Premiers versus a 2025 Premiers on their home deck. Going to be a great day. Wintry conditions going to make it interesting.
And Oliver Riddle, mate, you are one of the experts of the Southern Footy League. You've done a bit of broadcasting of this league the last couple of years. Tell us about these two teams.
Well, the funny thing is, these two teams, last year premiers the years before, probably the best two teams over the last few seasons. And to get it in round one, you don't see that very often. So, you know, best way to start the season, absolutely.
And how do you reckon the premiers from last year are going to go today? Looks like there's a few names missing from the grand final side last year, and there's a few debutants as well. So tell us about those.
I have noticed some of them I went to school with, actually, who are big footy fanatics. So they'll love the moment, the opportunity. But you don't know until they play how well they're going to be. But it's a big opportunity for those players who are filling gaps, really.
Certainly is. And Matty, as you touched on, the conditions are a bit swirly down here. What's the game plan for both coaches?
I think just to try and settle as early as they can and try and execute their game plan respectively. Conditions won't suit either team today, but whatever team gets on top, we'll try and take their ascendancy. And whoever's going to play the conditions the best will probably be the likely winner this afternoon.
First ball up, not too far away, footy fans, but stick around. Earlier today, Matty Gale caught up with the great Ryan Fitzgerald, the president of the Port Noarlunga Football Club.
Matty Gale for Filming Footy in the Southern Footy League. Gives me great pleasure this afternoon to introduce the new incoming president for the Port Noarlunga Cockle Divers. It is Ryan Fitzgerald. Thanks for joining us, great man.
Oh, so good to have you here today, boys. We're very, very excited. Round one, footy season started.
Now, we're unfurling the premiership flag this year from 2025. Yes. Mate, what are you going to bring to the table as a very popular and, let's just say, illustrious president incoming?
Well, it's an easy time to take over, isn't it? And that's why I've got to thank previous presidents, Dan James, Jason Davidson, Phil Wood, because they took over the club when we were struggling. I've taken over when we're premiers. So I always knew I was going to do it at some stage, but there's people, it's hard for people to put their hand up sometimes. So I've had to put it up a little bit earlier, but I must say I'm enjoying it. I'm getting a lot of satisfaction.
Fantastic. We've got 6 debutants today. Lockie Murphy with 125 games experience at the Crows. Jaden Kapler coming back to the club as well. Yep. Exciting times ahead for the club.
Yeah, Lucas Marshall plays his first game as a 16-year-old. James Howley. We've got Kobe Stewart's a 16-year-old as well. And Nathan Flesfader. Flesfader name is synonymous in South Australian football, so we're so excited. Maxie Crichton also plays his debut game today as well. So, geez, we just had Guernsey presentations there. I spoke for about 2 hours. That's how long it took just to get through them all.
Yeah, we've also got a couple of milestone games, 200 games there to Hedge, yep. And we've got 100 games also to one of our Indigenous All-Stars.
Oh, Gary Carpeney. Is he not one of the best players to watch play? Gary Carpeney up forward he just is electric and powerful, and we need Gaz. And Hedge, 200 games, legend of the club. So we're really excited. Big milestones. Blakey James has got a milestone. I think 100 games in the Bees today as well. So it's going to be a big night at the club tonight.
Thank you very much to the bow-legged warrior himself, Fitzgerald, an absolute superstar, and thank you very much for joining us.
I've done a hammy.
Footy is back, Matty.
Yeah, it's finally back. It's been a long wait, good 6 months in the waiting, and what an occasion today, unfurling of the flag. We've got the 2024 Premiers taking on the 25 Premiers on their home deck. Stage is set for a huge season opener.
Certainly is. Ollie, how do you feel, mate? First game on the big time, on the TV, mate.
Yeah, made the switch. Pretty interesting stuff. We'll see how it goes, though. But at the moment, a little apprehensive, a little nervous.
You are the expert of the Southern Footy League, so we'll get your insights as the day rolls on. And, of course, a massive thanks to our sponsors for bringing us today's game and some of the other games that will feature throughout the year. We've got Pro Build Australia. They are today's game day sponsor. The Aussie Inn at Hackham. Make sure you get your pint and palmy down at the Aussie Inn, and Air Diffusion Agencies as well. As we look to the 2025 Grand Final result, Matty alluded to it, the unfurling of the flag, a drought-breaking flag for the Cockle Divers. They got a 2-point win in the Grand Final last year. Firstly, Ollie, were you here watching this game or have you seen it? How was it and how was the occasion for Port Noarlunga?
I was there watching that game and the conditions were actually pretty similar to today. It was wet, it was windy, as you can see, low scoring the entire day, all the Grand Finals. No one could kick more than 8 goals. And Port Noarlunga, they just had their noses in front. Despite going in, probably not favourites, they had their noses in front the entire day. Managed to hold on. It was a great day. It was really the crescendo of the end of a season.
Tell us about not going into it favourites.
I actually think it helps. You know,
Okay.
How many Grand Finals do you see where the favourites don't win?
Not too sure.
There's heaps of them.
I don't mind the underdog tag.
You love an underdog story.
We do.
Matty Gale, what do you see from both sides today? Looking at the last couple of years, it's been a steady rise for Port Noarlunga, but with Reynella, they've been the benchmark for the last few years.
Yeah, they've been Mr. Consistency across the Southern Footy League for quite a substantial bit of time here. But we'll just look at their lineup here for Port Noarlunga. 6 debutants today, Jack, including young Maxie Crichton, Nathan Flasfader, James Howley, 17-year-old. There's some 16-year-olds here. Lucas Marshall, Kobe Stewart and Xander Trezise. So there's huge occasions for these young lads. They've brought in some talent as well to complement the side. And we've got Kapler and Murphy. And so Jaden Kapler coming back, 2025 Premiers with down there at Victor Harbour. Lockie Murphy, 125 games with Adelaide Crows, coming straight out of the AFL system. It's a jam-packed lineup. They've got a few out, but there's still plenty of premiership players there as the unfurling commences.
He obviously doesn't have that much pull coming into the club so far this year, Lockie Murphy, because he's been stitched up with the number 99. So if you see the number 99 and think, who's that little C-grade 16-year-old that's been filling in for the A-grade, it's actually an AFL star over the last few years. Ollie, talk us through some of those debutants. You said you went to school with a couple of them in that other interview that we did before.
I've been to a school with a couple of them, footy fanatics. They love it. They'll be pumped today. And a couple of I've umpired with as well. So all juniors who, you know, it's not their first or second year around the club. They've been since they were 10 years old around this joint. In many ways, their life has built up to this moment.
One of them, under 16 state player Lucas Marshall, and Flasfader, Flash they call him, a name synonymous with the Southern Footy League. Bit of footy with the under 16s at South Adelaide. The 2024 Grand Final result, who Port Noarlunga are playing today, the Reynella Wineflies. They won premiers in 2022 and in 2024. They actually had to do it the long way in that year as well. Lost the first final and got the chocolates there in another low-scoring affair. So early in the year, I'm seeing a trend here that the Southern Footy League, tough comp to play in with the tricky conditions that we can be faced with down this way, and another low-scoring game in that one. Did you see this game as well, Ollie?
I did manage to see that game too. I was actually overseas in Malaysia at the time, but I did get to check out that game. And it was very similar to last year's too. And what we're probably going to see today, the weather seems to be playing havoc on the Southern Footy League at the moment.
Certainly is. Talk us through some of this, some of the team lineup here from Reynella here, Ollie. Just a couple of names that I noticed that didn't play in their finals campaign, and maybe is why they lost in that first final. You got the vice captain and the captain. Brad Potter and Tyler Davies didn't play in that game. Were they injured at some point last year? What was the reason
Tyler Davies had a real struggle last year. He was far, far better in 2024 and just couldn't really get on the park last year from memory. But, you know, they've got some great guys coming in. Cameron Kirkland, he's rejoined the team from South Adelaide, I believe.
Yep.
So, you know, their team has only gotten better and better. And I don't believe they've lost many players at all. They did lose Jake Agnew last year, who kicked a big, substantial amount of goals.
He did.
So they're going to have to find a way to fill that gap. But when you got Bailey Marshman up forward, you got someone to kick to.
He certainly did. And, Matty, there's a few ins here for Reynella. I can see a couple of players from league footy experience.
Yeah, do have a few players in there. I just want to mention Shermer. So Tommy Shermer, no footy last year, premiership player in 2024. When we talk about previous clashes, he started back in round 9 of 2024 and he kicked 4 goals and he was third best. So he'll come into the fray. Might be a bit rusty, might be get some information off Ollie here, probably coming off an injury off that season or maybe some overseas travel, but he'll be a welcome return. As you mentioned there, Kirkland, he's a huge in. Really looking forward to seeing what he's got on display today. And Talon Copley, he was best on ground for Reynella in both of those clashes in 2025, which we've got here ahead of us.
We certainly do. Port Noarlunga getting the job done in both of those, one by the tune of 37 points and the other by 9 points. There's a couple of players who featured heavily in both of those games. I think you just mentioned there, Copley in the best for both of those games. Yeah, and
Sprout kicked 11 goals in that game in round 16, so he's up for the big occasion.
Took the PI double five.
Oh, he did, mate, and with 77 goals for the season, the quality of him as they come out on the ground, as far as Furling, we've got all the B-grade players, there's nothing like that instrumental, inspiring, running out of the race when you've got all the B-graders and a special occasion on season opening day.
Certainly is. We shouldn't be too far away from first bounce. The scheduled time on the website was 2:30. We've just ticked over that, so they should be getting stuck into it any minute now. With the Reynella there, Ollie, I'm not going to skim over it. I love that you tuned in on Filming Footy a couple of years ago because you weren't there at the game. Of course, that's where you are watching today. If you are viewing at home and you're not down here at Port Noarlunga, there's still time to get down here for a beer. But if you are watching at home, welcome. We hope you are enjoying the contest and enjoy it as the day goes on. One thing I noticed for Port Noarlunga, and we could be seeing it throughout from today, this year, and for the next few years, is their under-15s team. 4 premierships in a row in that grade, and there's 6 debutants that have probably played in those games. So there is a plethora of talent.
Yeah,
coming
straight out of the footballing
Noarlunga
factory down here at the Cockle Divers, which is hugely important. As we just look at the Reynella Wine-Files, I forgot to mention Hi-Ho Jackson, that Blake Rodriguez coming into the squad today. He's come off the back of 4 league games here at South Adelaide last year. And Liam Delahunty, he's come straight out of the West Adelaide down at Richmond, and he's part of the Giants Academy, and he's making his debut. And Aiden Seacombe, we mustn't forget him. He's making his A-grade debut today, which was also tremendous to see.
Do you have some key matchups that you're looking out for today, Ollie, on the specials?
Key matchups. Whoever's going to mark Zach Sprout, played 17 games for GWS in the AFL, was amazing last year for Port Noarlunga. He kicked a massive, and I've got it written down here, last year he kicked 77 goals on his own. He was the best on in the grand final. Who are they going to be able to put on him? That's the key. It's probably going to be multiple players that'll get the role, but for me, he's the man of the day.
Gee, look at big Ryan Kelly there, the skipper for the home side. He is a man mountain.
As the torn toss takes up there. And what have we got? Port Noarlunga will kick to the left of your screen. So well done there to the captain.
Got a question for you, Ollie. Looks like some good players that featured heavily in the best players aren't playing today for Port Noarlunga. Where are they? Are they injured or have they gone on to greener pastures? I'm talking the likes of Nate Paredes, Brodie Smith, Nick Steele, and maybe Todd McKay as well.
Some of them I'm not too sure about.
Yep.
I do know Nate Paredes is in Darwin at the moment for work, I believe. Brodie Smith's moved on to another club, I don't think in the SFL. But you're right, they are missing a few players, which, great opportunity for the young guys coming through. But there are some holes that need filling.
It certainly is.
Geez, have a look at the shots here from our wonderful producer, Sir James Moody, down there at ground level, right in the thick of the action down there. He's doing a superb
job. He's going to cop a stray falcon if he's not lucky.
I actually hope he doesn't get one on the side there because he's the backbone of our production team here at Filming Footy. He's a magnificent operator. But it's going to be a huge game. Marshman and Sprout, the opportunities may be pretty limited considering these conditions, but it is a smallish ground. As you see Ryan Fitzgerald trying to get in amongst the action, going out to welcome the umpires. Looks like we've got some sort of small prezzo about to start here, Jack. Yeah, so we've got the umpires today, Alex Kerr and Josh Niederer. So they've got the official duties today. As the 4 square just going through, just crisscross hand pass, Jack. This is the time of the day where the old
feel a bit of body.
bit of El Savaronka stand up on the shoulders, per se.
Before we get into our tips for the game, we'll just thank our matchday sponsors once again. Of course, today's game is brought to you by ProBuild Australia, and we've got the Aussie Inn at Hackham as well. So get down for your pint and palmy down there at the Aussie Inn and Air Diffusion Australia. We've got the Sportal scoreboard as well. Port Noarlunga got that done over the off-season, so they're just going from strength to strength on and off the field. And of course, Archie's and Filming Footy, providing a Filming Footy beanie and Archie Stongs for the best on ground. And I wonder if that man on screen there, the new coach, Adam Hartlett, just giving his final address, taking the board back to the bench, and he'll resume his place on the side there. I wonder what he's going to bring in as new coach from West Adelaide last year, about halfway through the year. I think he
ventured down to the Bay, mate.
Okay.
He resigned mid-year due to mental health and well-being. We wish him all the best, and that's an ongoing battle that some of us do face. But, yeah, great to see him in a full-time capacity down here at Port Noarlunga and injecting some talent. 6 debutants today. Really exciting for the club. Brian Fitzgerald, geez, pound for pound, the best president of SA footy as far as well-known personalities around the place. But the stage is set for a wonderful game. There's some big gaps here for Port Noarlunga on their furling day, but the Reynella Wineflies, for me, I just looked at their side a little bit earlier. They've got 11 premiership players from 2024. They'd be keen as mustard. They had been the benchmark for a while. Port Noarlunga a flash in the pan. They were winless in 2022, as we've seen off Jack's notes here. Sorry to steal some of your glory there, Jack, but that's a monumental rise. Probably the likes of North Melbourne in 1975, if they've any memories of yesteryear for our older folk. But, yeah, premierships aren't won and done overnight, and well-deserved to Port Noarlunga, but Reynella will be in some sort of redemption mode, I'd feel, in 2026.
Can we get a quick tip off you, Matty, please?
I'm going the Wineflies today. I just think there's too many gaps in the lineup from last year for Port Noarlunga.
I also think the same thing. What about you, Ollie,
Well,
the SFL expert?
The SFL expert. When was the last time a Premiers did not go in favourites in round one? Probably never. But
Not very often.
I think I'm probably going to agree with both of you. I just think there's a little bit of gaps at the moment. Maybe there'll be players that step up for Port Noarlunga, but obviously before the game has started, we don't really know. I'm going to tip Reynella.
Alrighty, what's the midfield battle going to look like there, Ollie?
No Paredes is really going to hurt. Obviously, they've got a Ryan Kelly there. Tommy Dix, 228 games for Port Noarlunga across his career. James Patworth, I watched in the pre-season when Reynella took on, that was Blackwood at St Mary's there. He was really, really good. And Tyler Davies has been sensational for a couple of years. If he can keep his body fit today, I reckon there's probably even. I'd say even at the moment. Sit on the fence in the first quarter and then we'll make our judgments.
Looks like he's got the knee heavily strapped there. Do you know too much about that?
I believe it was the knee that was worrying him last year.
Okay. And as a former umpire yourself, or current umpire, I think you were saying to me off air, what's the little hold-up we're seeing in the middle of the ground here? A bit of a consultation between 5 and green?
Well, I think they're just waiting for their payment.
From which club? Who's paying them?
We'll find out, buddy. End of the game.
Here we go. He's put it on the agenda early.
Jeez, it's interesting for the slow start. I'm just wondering if there's an issue with the ground or...
I'm not sure what the hold-up is. Maybe goal umpires are got to get in the right position. They both seem to be there.
We'll have to hit up Mick here, the Port Noarlunga team manager, just walking past the box here. You might know.
Okay. Billy Cook. Yep.
Yeah, we do, yeah.
Yep.
Thanks, Mick.
Thanks, Mykonos. So, Mick, the great team manager here for Port Noarlunga, just confirming Billy Cook in the lineup. We did have him on the mail.
We don't miss a thing, do we, Matty?
All over it, Jackson. All over it. Unlike the start of this game. So, just some sort of concern. I don't know what's going on.
Really not sure. It could be the scoreboard or the timekeeper.
Yeah, it could be the timekeeper with the new Sportal scoreboard. Looks like we've rectified that. And we're only moments away from the opening bounce of this clash here between Port Noarlunga Crocodiles and the Reynella Wineflies. For me, two of the iconic names of SA football.
Can't miss.
Interesting ground, this one, Jack. I really find the ground shape quite interesting. Pretty small deck. It's in magnificent condition. Wind going straight across the ground. Shouldn't favour either end.
Maybe Fitzy's the hold-up.
Well, he doesn't mind the spotlight, and the old bow-legged warrior just sneaks over the fence. He almost buckled as he went over the fence line, but stage is set. And Jack, we'll let you have the first rock here, Jackson Banwell.
Oh, you're
for
too
filming
kind,
footy.
Matty. I was going to let you have the first
No.
rock. We've got Lockie Murphy at half-back, Ethan Salai in the ruck, and Tom Shermer for the Wineflies. Salai gets the first tap, but it's Reynella trying to get the first foray forward, but it was intercepted. The ball's bobbling around in the middle of the ground. Plenty of players around it. A bit of a surge from both forward lines coming up to provide a couple extra mids, and the umpire says, I will have it.
Surprised to see Lockie Murphy at half-back.
Yeah, he's nursing the neck. We were speaking to him
The
off
neck,
air
of
there,
course,
Ollie.
yeah.
Yeah, so he's just going to try and get a few cheapies, I reckon, and work his way into the season. Ball bobbling around here for Reynella. They've fanned it out wide by hand. It's with Rosa, and he works it forward. It's come to the wing, and Arnold. Grubber kick didn't go too far. Kelly, the skipper. Murphy, with a bit of poise. Fans it out to the outer side now. And that ball just skids along away from James Howley. Trucking it to the line, him and his defender. And the boundary line beats all and be balled in on the outer side. Early doors, first term.
Yeah, about 65 from home. Both teams just trying to settle their early nerves. Lockie Murphy with just a handy little slicer inboard to the middle, and we've just found that ball on that far side. So, Banders throw in. Shermer up against Salai. Ball comes around, a little grubber off the ground. They've got their first clearance here, the Cockle Divers. Crunching tackle in the middle, and well held up there is Tommy Dix.
Big crowd today. Look at all the cars.
Oh, I love it. Country footy.
Yeah.
Toot the horns, get involved. Great tap by Salai over the top. And a great clearance brought to ground. Should be holding the ball here, and he is. And umpire agrees that Trezise had that one for too long. So strong tackle. Plenty of numbers behind the ball for Reynella. They go out wide. Strong lead here. Long way up the ground there is Marshman.
That's your man.
Great set of jukes on the great man. 89 goals. He's too far out from home this one. And we see the wind holds the ball up. Great defensive punch. And the golden fist over the line there on that far side by Maxi Savage. So Maxi Savage playing, made his debut last year in the forward line and kicked 5 goals on debut. So he's impressive to see him in the key defensive post.
There you go. The two big men go at it once more. Sherman wins this one down. It's come to the back here for Reynella. Oh, taken in a strong tackle. But unfortunately just slipped a little bit too high there was the Cockle Diver. And Dylan Rose has got the ball on the outer side. Pretty much right in line with halfway. He's going to play on, take his half measure, send it inside 50, albeit shallow. Off hands, well roved. The umpire says that'll be mine. About 47 from home. What are you seeing behind the ball? Anything there, Ollie, or was it all not too bad?
So far, so good, but I'll keep an eye on behind the ball.
Beautiful, all over it. Ollie Riddle, your SFL expert for season 2026. Ball hasn't gone too far from that first stoppage. Just inside 50 here for the Wineflies. Can they get the first one on the board against the wind? Would be a huge start for them. Pressure's hot early. It's hot in the kitchen, Matty.
Yeah, it's a fair old arm wrestle at the moment. So 45 from home. Umpire throws it up. Salai gets his hands on it. Plenty of Wineflies lurking around, sniffing a goal. And this game is in arm wrestle mode at the moment. And we've got a repeat ball up.
Is that bleach blonde hair on Papworth, or is that just natural blonde hair colour there, Ollie?
Well, he dyed it in the pre-season, I noticed,
There you
and
go.
I know about you, but not a fan of the bleach blonde hair.
It's got the peroxide happening. Don't mind it.
I don't mind that young Pappers. Bit of zing. So ball to be thrown up again. This is our fourth repeat. Good punch there by Shermer. Eventually get the clearing kick out of there. Goes towards the boundary line. Can't be kept in on this occasion by Kobe Stewart. It'll be last possession out of bounds. So they play on immediately. Driving ball inside. Forward 50. Pack forms. No mark taken. Ball comes to the ground. Need a crumbing goal. Left foot little snap. And a little slider through it. There's the opening goal. Snap right required because that was a lace-like boot there and a beautiful goal. And we'll get the replay here. So on that far side, that pack form, no mark could have been taken. And as you see, that is wonderful craft and a fantastic shot on goal.
Do we get the man who kicked that one? Did you see that? Left footer? Didn't quite get the number.
No, didn't quite get the number.
No, I didn't
Get
get the
back to
number
you.
either.
You don't see many of that in the wet, too.
Just on that far side, I think I had a bit of a pillar right in front of my caravan spot here for filming footy.
Oh,
But great start here by Reynella. One straight six.
I think you guys have been absolutely kissed. My obliques are getting a workout today. I've got a big pillar right in front of me. You guys got a big old window to look through. Pull up now in the centre. Reynella strike first. And Port Noarlunga go inside 50 for the first time today. Brought to ground. Off hands. Good, strong tackle. Singh. I think that's the first time I've seen Singh on a team sheet.
He's my man. He was electric last year for Port Noarlunga.
Alan Singh. One to watch out for, says Ollie. Sherman wins it down. Tried to hack it away, but couldn't. Ball comes out and then comes in again.
He came from
Secondary
Christie's
stoppage.
Beach, Alan Singh, and
Okay.
came to Port Noarlunga last year and just went from an average B grader to a superstar.
There you go. You heard it here first. Watch out for Alan Singh inside forward 50 for Port Noarlunga. Doesn't go too far. It's come out now. With time. Tyler Davies it was. The skipper with a bit of poise. Finds his teammate on this near side wing. Right in front of our broadcast position. Marshman.
Mark.
Strong. Got a little mullet happening there, Bailey Marshman. In short to
geez, he
Papworth.
jolted there.
He did. Didn't look nice, but he was all right. He got his kick inside 50. The Reynella forward did well to bring it to ground against two. And they clear now, Port Noarlunga. And it's found Jaden Kapler, your man, Matty.
So fortuitous kick lands in the lap here of Jaden Kapler. And he does have that famous left foot from the Kapler family. Driving ball to the centre wing. Great mark, great set of jukes there by Sinclair. So Zebediah Sinclair pushes off his mark. Only played the 2 A-grade games last year. Great work out the back, and then there's a beautiful mark to our 100 gamer, Gary Carpeney. Carpeney just read the drift of the ball out the back, positioned himself perfectly for that juxtaposition 101, coming off the back of 52 goals in his 2025 campaign.
Yeah.
Would
He's a
love to
critical
get his
player.
100th game off to an absolute bottler with a shot on goal. So 45-degree angle. Man on the mark is about 30 from home. Slide angle to speak of. Beautiful little kick and straight through the high diddle. Gets his opener. So both teams have struck early and it's one straight apiece with Gary Carpeney getting the opener there for the Port Noarlunga Crocodiles.
Really good play there, and he's going to be a critical player, Carpeney, because if Sprouse obviously gets all the big attention as the key forward. So if he can bob up, as you said, 52 goals last year, if he can put that on the board again in 2026, that's going to really help out Port Noarlunga.
Come to the bench there is Jaden Close for Port Noarlunga. One of the new signings for Reynella, Liam Delahunty's perked himself at full forward. It's one to watch out for. Wasn't sure of the type of player he is going to be for Reynella.
Looks like a key position type, doesn't he? He's really strongly built. Suits the Southern Fully League.
Ruck change in there for both sides. Murphy off the half-back line. Pumps it forward for his team. Carpeney, the goal kicker.
Oh.
Bounced off of a couple, Gary Carpeney. Didn't have a support for a handball, so he slapped it inside 50. It's come to ground. Kapler! 2 in a minute for Port Noarlunga.
Well, just like that, Reynella, they had most of the ball for the first part of the game, but straight away, 2 inside forward 50s. Port Noarlunga are suddenly in front. And they'll take their opportunities, especially when conditions quite aren't ideal.
I'll tell you what, it's the big guns getting involved in that passage of play there. Murphy cleared, Carpeney bounced off a couple, and the new recruit, or returning to the club, Jaden Kapler, with 25 goals last year for Victor Harbour, gets
In
his
the right
first
place,
of the
right
year.
time, wasn't he?
Certainly.
So back to the middle. And good to see they're using the other side of that centre square. It was on this side in the Magoos. So a bit of a change up in the ruck, as Jack suggested, and Murphy's been injected into the midfield. Gets to great work there by Ortman, but he's held up in a gang tackle.
I'd be really surprised if Murphy doesn't attend most centre bounces.
Okay, just a shout out to our sponsors there, to ProBuild, Aussie Unit, Hackham and Air Diffusion Agencies. Could have been a free kick there at half forward. Great tackle, mowed down. They should clear here, the Winefires, but an interception there comes out to Kapler from the 50. Pumps it long. Will be marked on the last line of defence there, and cleverly in the end there by Whittaker. So Whittaker right up against the fence there in the back pocket. Pumps it to the defensive 50 line, and then unattended in the end was Liam Reid. So strong mark by Reid. A little chiseler down the line towards our broadcast position. Pure weight of numbers in favour of Reynella. Well sharked in the end and should be held up, and looking for the line there in the end as Tommy Dixon. He gets to that position which he was looking for, and we'll have a ball up.
The Silver
Just a
Fox.
throw in.
Silver Fox just knows where the line is.
He
knows
does
what to
know
do
where
at
it
the right
is.
time.
So great interception. That one will go out of bounds on the full.
One of our major sponsors, the Aussie Inn, Hackham, they did a bit of a redone a couple of years ago. It looks sensational now.
Beautiful. Get your pint and palmy down at the Aussie Inn. It's just forward of half back here for Port Noarlunga. So they've worked their way into it nicely. Reynella had a bit of the running there in the first 5. 10 minutes gone now in this first term. Tommy Dix, awkward ball drop, but gets good purchase on the kick. It's on the edge of 50. Well picked up by Pat Carman, one of the under-17s from last year. Was he one of the debutants today, Matty? Missed that one.
Second A-grade game today.
Second A-grade game
Yeah, he
for Pat
debuted
Carman.
in round 17 in 2024 against Christie's Beach.
Inside 50 here. There's Sproul in the ruck for Port Noarlunga. Yet to see much of it. Kick intercepted. Callan Ortman marks it right on 50. Little short one on offer. No. Doesn't look too confident, but he's got the wind in his back. Doesn't he here, Ollie?
He does,
Coming
but
in from
I
the
would
south?
say by his reaction, he can't make the distance. Surely, if you know you've got it, you go back and kick it.
He just sets it up. Top of the square. Off hands. Off a couple of hands. Intercepted here by Reynella. They look to repel. Through Stanford. Clears to the outer side. That's a strong relieving mark by his teammate. Plays on straight away. Down the line. In the Delahunty direction. He crushes the pack. Brings it to ground. Off hands. Rodriguez. Clean. Ball bobbling around. Where's the boundary line?
Oh, beautiful tackle.
Have to be close. And it is finally escorted out of bounds there by Billy Cook.
Got to be careful along that outer wind because when it really rains, it pours over there. It floods.
Whew, I did see a photo on their socials actually last year. They had to get the vac truck down
They
here
did,
to pump out. I think it was like 10,000 litres of water.
Right on that side
Extraordinary.
of the ground.
It's a great tuck there, and we'll have a repeat. So Stanford going into the ruck. See, there's not many. There's Coach Hartlett looking down from the box.
Just not a
Give
bad
some
spot
direction
to watch
to
footy from, is it?
the coaches at ground level. So back to the action. Gee, some great work there at ground level there again there by Ortman, and he's held up. So Ortman on A-grade debut. It was round 2. Played the 3 games for SA last year in the under-18s. So for South Adelaide. So back to the action. Well picked up. Great attack on the ball. Here's your one-on-one. Oh, could have been a collision.
Chickened out.
Well read there in the end by Lewis Bird. No relation to the great Larry. Great punch there.
Or Craig.
And or Craig.
Or big.
Geez, all big. Big Bird. Favourite of mine. Geez, that's some great work by Ortman. He streams through. Lovely little chipper at the top of the 50 and a lovely mark at ground level. Taken around the ankles.
Sproul.
So push off your mark. Sproul, is he too far out?
I don't
So
think he is.
77 goals last year. Leading goal kicker for the GWS VFL team 4 years straight.
But he just couldn't crack into that
just
AFL
couldn't quite,
team.
Well, you think about the GWS at the time, it was around their premiership run, and they were a genuine top 4 team for all that time that he was at the GWS club. So Sprout, he'll have to kick from right outside the 50 here. We'll have to kick from 52. Gives it the kitchen sink. Lovely kick, but it just drifts to the right and goes through for a minor score. So first blemish on the Sportal scoreboard for this year. Port Noarlunga 2-1-13. Reynella 1 straight. We're almost halfway through this opening stanza here for Filming Footy.
We certainly are. 13 minutes gone in this first quarter of the 2026 season in the Southern Football League. A happy gather round to all. Hope you're gathering around Southern Footy League action in all parts of the southern region. We've got Ironbank taking on Morfett Vale, Happy Valley versus Aldinga, and Flagstaff Hill taking on Cove. And we'll have those scores to you as the day progresses. You are watching the Match of the Day stream here on Filming Footy YouTube. Chipped over the top dangerously. He didn't know it was coming there, Dylan Rosa. But Xander Trezise was just a bit overzealous and took him high.
It's his second free kick against. I'm not sure he's touched it yet as well on his debut.
Xander.
He'll be right. I know him from school. It won't face him.
Nice size for bloody that young.
I was just thinking that, Matty. These kids don't look like
No.
kids. They've got a bit of muscle
Got
about
some
them,
trunks on
and
the
they're
legs,
ready to
don't
rock
worry
and
about that.
roll. Don't you worry about that.
They all love the gym.
Delahunty now, 70 from home. Rolls onto that right.
Ooh.
Chiseling ball. Intercepted. Brought to ground. Port Noarlunga have time to clear. They do, albeit hurriedly and scrappy. Davies picks it up off the carpet. He's corralled. Has a bit of poise to work it around his opposite number there. And I've just had a Reynella patron just walk in front of my view, so I don't know what's happening. And I think it's a ball up.
Yeah, just caught on that boundary line there, Jack. And we'll have a ball up just inside the club rooms there. Unfurling of the flag here for the Premiership in 2025. Great work. Just bustles through too. Should have been done for holding the ball there, Ryan Kelly, and the umpire agrees. So a free kick here will be given to Shermer. No footy in 2025, as we mentioned. The big fella gets on that left peg. Beautiful kick in the Marshman direction. Well roved. Oh, scintillating little grubber. It just rolls to the other side there for a minor score. So 2-1 plays 1-1. And we're 16 minutes down in this opening term here for filming footy on the Sportal scoreboard.
It is round one, of course. The Chris Leary Memorial Round. An absolute pioneer of Southern Footy League. This is cleared by Lockie Murphy. That's gone all the way to the centre circle just about. It's a big roost. Bit of poise there from the Reynella forward. It was Daniel Whitaker. Ball comes to ground though. Bobbling around and boundary line beats all. Anything you're seeing forward of the ball, back of the ball for both sides, Ollie?
Nothing is jumping out right at the moment. Still early on, so I still think they're testing each other out a little.
Okay. That would explain the 6-point scoreline. Tight, contested game so far.
I think your 8 goals would probably go close to winning it today, Jackson.
It's not a bad call. Not a bad call by
agree.
you, Matty. Umpires found a free. I think there's a bit of byplay off the ball, and that's Papworth. He drives it inside 50 to the leading Delahunty. Comes to ground. Well picked up by the Port Noarlunga defender, Singh. Found his teammate, but he put him under pressure. He followed up with a good tackle, should I say. And once again, this is definitely the trend of the day. Stoppage after stoppage after stoppage. And there's the coach there, Milo, for Reynella. Just calming down, perhaps.
So great tap down there by Shermer. And trying to ably to get this ball out of their defensive 50 here, the Cockledivers. But it is a very hot potato. Umpires found a free kick for holding the ball. So really quick on that one. And they can go on the 45 here to Lockie Murphy, and they do, as he asked to play on. Just the required there, about 12.75 metres. He plays on that trusty left foot, and on that previous one, he can get plenty of purchase on it, and he does again this time. Comes out to spray up. Big man with the dukes up. Plays on immediately. They've got a runner out the back. Superb kick, and what an intercepting mark. Crunch by Whitaker.
He put himself on the line there. He didn't watch the players. He watched the ball fully. And in the end, that's why he's got the ball in his hands.
Courageous mark by Whitaker. And goes a little chiseler to the top of the defensive 50. Well marked there by Copley. Not his best hand pass. Gets the 1-2 from Kirkland. Under the pup. Goes back to Kirkland. They're mucking around, but there the wide flies. They size it up. They go out wide to a one-on-one. Need to be patient here. Goes towards that wing on the far side. Papworth comes from the back. Comes from the back. Gets a kick. Will go over the head there of Marshman. Great smother off the boot there. So Savage under the pump. They eventually get it down that line. It'll go straight down the throat there of Scotland. It was perfectly poised behind the ball.
Great mark there by Scotland. Noticing Max Savage, under 17 from last year. He's got the difficult job of Bailey Marshman today, Ollie. How do you think he can go there?
Well, I haven't watched too many 17s last year, but it's certainly going to be a tester for him.
Whitaker with another great intercepting mark.
A lot of faith from the Port Noarlunga Cockledivers coaching staff.
There is a lot of faith.
Enormous task for him.
Reynella have fanned it wide to this near side. Damon Arnold down the line. There's your man Marshman right on cue, with Savage just trailing a bit behind. Have worked this beautifully here. It's with Rodriguez. Inside 50 they go. Delahunty caught behind. Comes to ground. There's plenty of little insects there. The wine flies on the ground. Trying to rove this ball Inside 50 they go again. Reed, Chisler. Good mark.
Good reward for effort here by the Wineflies because they've just haven't made the most of their opportunities going inside 50. I thought they've had the better entries, just haven't got it on the scoreboard. You can see there's a little bit of wind assailants here for Port Noarlunga, but they need to get some scoreboard pressure on that Sportal scoreboard.
It's with Brad Potter. 17 out of 18 games last year. Trusty goal kicker for the Wineflies, but he's hung it up and the wind's just held it. Marshman. Read it beautifully, read it best.
I'm surprised Potter couldn't make the journey there. 27 goals last year. They'll definitely need him to pop up today, but it's all about Marshman. Marshman is their key. Last year, SFL leading goal scorer.
With 89 big ones. Not much angle to speak of. Distance not an issue. Accuracy not an issue. And we are back to all square. 20 minutes gone. Just ticked into red time in this first quarter.
Yeah, great work there by Marshman. And Potter linking up well. He must have kicked right into the teeth of that breeze for it to hold up like that. And Marshman, smart forwards will play in front like that. And there's a learning lesson there for young Maxi Savage, who was tonguing it off the back of that last contest here on centre wing right in front of the coach's box. So a lesson well learnt there for young Savage. But Marshman will step up. And if he can get on target early. Oh, geez, they've swung the circle back over towards the broadcast side. So the umpire's keeping everyone
guessing.
Well, he's going from the long run. He's come off the DK Lilly run-up. He expected everyone to be on this side.
Geez, a bit of me time here from the umpire.
Bit of G's Louise going on, and time is obviously part of time on, so off he goes. Rucks will go out at Jackson.
Zalai and Stanford in the ruck it was for Reynella, and they come up with it, the Wineflies, to Damon on the outer side. Good wrap. Couldn't take it cleanly, followed up well against his opponent there in Jaden Close. Well, I'm sure we'll be keeping him close for company as the day wears on. Well, one down there by Zalai. But again, it's been a bit of a trend here early in this, or late in this first quarter, should I say. Most of the clearances going the way of Reynella. Just second of the footy at the moment, Port Noarlunga, in the contest. They've been good when it's been in open play. Plenty of inside 50s. But Reynella have wrestled back momentum well in the last 5 minutes. Zalai once again, another hit out for the big man. Cleared now for Port Noarlunga. Intercepted by Reynella. It's with Arnold on that outer side. Had a bit of poise to look inside, but just hung it up a bit for Davies, his captain. Potter ducked into it, wanted holding the ball. Do you agree with that, my fellow umpire?
I do think that was holding the ball. These umpires, very good. There was a lot of talk about what holding the ball is in the preseason, so don't expect too much wrong.
And it wasn't Potter, it was Rosa, so don't want Brad Potter to think he's been done holding the ball there. As it goes inside 50 and out of bounds.
They've got to get Singh on the ball. Sim was fantastic last year, and he's currently sitting at half forward. Get him in the middle, around the football.
Inject a bit of pace, you reckon?
Exactly right.
Right.
So 23 minutes down, opening stanza. Ball thrown in 40 metres from home here. Shallow throw in, doesn't make the journey. That breeze really starting to have an impact at ground level. Well held up. Port Noarlunga still have a couple of players on that far side. Pumps it inside, forward 50, needs a strong mark. Has it been taken? I think Sprouse claimed it out the back off hands.
Hedger.
But it should have been the man in front, which was Hedger, and eventually they've said, no, we'll throw it in. So off hands in the end. And Sinclair up in the ruck. Gets the tap down, he's in front there. And we'll have a rinse and repeat as we head into time on. So very evenly poised game. 2-1 apiece. Can there be a late goal here from Port Noarlunga? Won't be much time on. Only the 4 goals kicked in the opening caller. Umpire calling for play on. Quick snap around the corner. There's a beaut. Oh, just sneaks to the right for a minor score.
That was Sinclair. You know much about Zebediah Sinclair? Played a lot of twos last year.
Yeah, I have seen him played 13s, 15s, 17s. He, like many of the players today for Port Noarlunga, have been playing for the club since they were little kids, since they were having fruit time in primary school.
He's ready to explode, I think. 50 goals last year in the twos, getting his reward with some A-grade footy now. Umpire circling, holding the ball. Zach Sprouse.
A smart play by Sprout because he knew he just had to hold it in. It was very clumsy there from the Reynella defender, and it was a sitting duck in the end.
What do you reckon? Distance any trouble here?
Well, he had a shot from just over the far side from about the same distance before, if not further out, and he got it. So I'm tipping there'll be a score here. Just hopefully 5+ more than the other one.
He's going to have to kick this from inside the centre square here, Jackson.
Zachy Sprout knows where the goals are. Well documented. 77 goals last year. Strikes it very well, but it's very poorly directed. Out on the full, no score.
He's got the journey, though. He's just got to get it, would you believe it, in the middle.
So Rosa just waiting for the ball to come from the back of the car park here. As we're 25.5 down opening term.
The problem with this ground is if the ball goes past the cars, it's just one big hill into a river, and you'll never get it back.
Nightmare.
Good if you're a 7-year-old looking for a bit of a souvenir. Pumps that ball out of the defensive line. Great work at ground level. There's a little player out the back, snuck out. Smart play, some great footage here from our camera crew. And given the hurry up, given an eternity to move this ball on. So eventually does there. Seacombe gets one down the line. And there goes the siren there for quarter time. And at quarter time, it's 1 point the difference. 2-2 plays 2-1. And big thank you to our sponsors there. Aussie Internet Hacken, Pro Build, Air Diffusion Agencies and the Sportal Scoreboard. Don't forget the Archie thongs and the Filming Footy beanie for our best on ground. We'll come back with a second quarter after the break.
At ProBuild Australia, we specialise in insurance building repairs, restoration and make-safes, delivering fast, reliable service when it matters most. Whether it's storm, fire, water damage or just a broken window, PBA has you covered across South Australia, Victoria, New South Wales and Queensland. Trusted by insurers, backed by quality and built on performance.
Air Diffusion Agencies are the market leader in air conditioning component manufacturing. Using state-of-the-art technologies to design and innovate, they have the largest range of components for all air conditioning, heating and ventilation systems. Air Diffusion are proudly Australian family-owned, trading for over 30 years and employing over 150 experienced staff. Servicing all of Adelaide with 3 huge locations, they really are your one-stop air conditioning trade centre. So demand Air Diffusion products in your home or business.
Quarter time action here in round 1 of the Southern Footy League. Thanks to Filming Footy and thanks to Pro Build, Aussie Internet Hacken, Air Diffusion, the Sportal Scoreboard that you can see in the background of that shot there, the Archies and Filming Footy, of course, with a pair of thongs and a beanie for the best on ground today. If you've just joined us, Port Noarlunga 2-2-14 plays 2-1 Reynella 13. Port Noarlunga leading by a point, of course. The last 2 premiers of this competition, Port Noarlunga breaking the 28-year drought last year in 2025. And the Cockle Divers being the benchmark of this competition for the last 4 to 5 years. Tight contested affair, strong breeze to the left of screen. And Port Noarlunga didn't really make the most of it. Reynella held up well. I'm joined by Ollie Riddle and Matty Gale as well. Ollie, how did you find the first quarter, mate?
They're just testing each other out at the moment. No big, remarkable moments. Just sort of seeing what works, what doesn't. Of course, Adam Hartlett, brand new coach, former West Adelaide coach there. So I think this first game for Port Noarlunga is just seeing what it's going to look like for the season ahead.
Round 1 of the Southern Football League, of course, for the second year running is the Chris Leary Memorial Round. And the Southern Football League acknowledged round one as the Chris Leary Memorial Round in honour of a prominent ambassador and innovative leader of the SFL community. Chris was president of the SFL for 19 years, and his service to this league spanned over 4 decades. He was awarded the Medal of the Order of Australia in 2011 for his service to Aussie rules football right here in South Australia. So an amazing touch by the league to honour an absolute great of this this region, of this great state. Matty Gale, what have you got for us?
Mate, I've just got the call through from Johnny Douglas, the head honcho of Filming Footy. Now, the owner of ProBuild, we've gone viral here. The owner of ProBuild, Jared and Dave, are watching us live in LA, of all places.
LA?
In LA. So
Boys
Jared's
gone
also
global.
the football manager down here at the Reynella Wine Flies and loving it at the moment, and all the live action straight out of the Port Noarlunga Footy Club. I hope the weather is much more kinder to you over there, you guys, and enjoy your holiday, Jared and Dave, and what a wonderful contribution they're making to the Southern Footy League out there at ProBuild, doing all sorts of wonderful things for footy in this great neck of the woods, Jack.
What did you see in that first quarter there, Matty? Ollie was just speaking about the strong breeze. Both sides just feeling each other out. Where can you think the game can be unlocked?
I just think cleaner ball movement inside forward 50 for both teams. It might sound pretty stupid, but just adjusting to conditions. I think we'll get a better understanding of this game by half-time when both sides have used both ends of the breeze. You can't really comment until that's taken place, but I'd say the Wine Flies have probably had the better of it, considering how much strength there was in that breeze in the opening stanza. But you can still score goals at both ends, which is super important.
Here's something for you. In 2015, the Southern Football League Grand Final was watched from Mount Everest.
There you go. I don't think that will ever be broken. Second quarter action here on Filming Footy of the Southern Footy League. Here's Matty Gale.
So lie up against Shermer again. Shermer gets his hand on that with the big southpaw. Lockie Murphy streams out of that defensive unit. Nice little poker towards half forward. No mark taken. Should have been taken high. Umpire with a bit of rain in the vision. Couldn't see it. Needed some windscreen wipers a little bit earlier. Jackson on the old eyes. Couldn't see too much. But conditions, we're going to have this sporadic rain here throughout the day, and players will have to adjust to that cake of soap. So great here by Rosa. Had an outstanding opening stanza. That ball, you can see the drift as it went straight past Salai's head. Comes to ground level. Clever work here by Kapler. Goes in the direction of Carp, and he kicked the first goal here for the Cockle Divers. Excellent work at ground level. Brilliant work there by Reed, who was pushed as he kicked it and will go out of bounds on the fall on that far side. At left half back there for Port Noarlunga.
It is. Let's see what they can conjure up here early in this second term. Brought back in and didn't go too far. Hugged the boundary line.
Just saw the crowd there a little bit earlier. Jeez, it is absolutely pumping down here at the season opener at the Southern Footy League.
It certainly is. Don't know if we can get a bit of a wider shot. Just how packed in under the pergola it is, like sardines there. They've come out in full force for the unveiling of the 28-year Premiership drought-breaking flag unveiling today. Back in. Good handball there by the skipper.
Ooh.
Ducked into it. Umpire fell for it, taken high. Tyler Davies, the skipper of Reynella, missed a chunk of footy last year. They'll welcome him back into the team. Out the back, Potter, dribbler. First of the second quarter for the Wine Flies.
It's very risky when you go for those dribbling kicks, especially in the wet. But Potter, there was one for Reynella in the first quarter that missed a dribble kick. This time it's certainly gone through. That one probably a bit easier.
Just held his positioning, didn't he, Matty? Knew it
Yeah,
was out
it's
the back.
just a smart player. Knew the ball was out the back there, Potter, and he's a fine example of how to kick goals and your forward craft there. 27 goals last year from his 17 outings, and amongst the best players seven times. But, mate, he's got a wealth of experience. He's had 69 games at Glenelg over time and 11 down there at South Adelaide. So he knows where the sticks are. And his 220th game and 303rd goal for the Wine Fly. So back to the middle, and that first goal was super important in the context of this game. Wine Flies will look to get a little lead going here, one would feel, whereas the Cockle Divers will need to work hard in arm wrestle mode into the breeze. Great work at ground level, well held up. Smart work there by Kirkland just to put the handbrake on. And the umpire giving a fair old allowance. Kapler on the opposite, always dragged down. Dangerous tackle, not seen by the umpire at the edge of the cricket pitch as he gets up slowly. Singh looking for the free kick. Ball bouncing around. Smart work there in the end by O'Grady. Drifts it out wide to Murphy. Beautiful kick in the direction of Sproul, and the big man is taking it. He's an outstanding target, a beacon for the ball coming inside the forward 50. He'll have to take his best kick from there. And as we saw in the first quarter, he's got a thumper, but he just needs to get the radar on. Goes a little chipper, pokes it towards Carpeny. He's well met and punched away superbly by the defensive line and just walked over the boundary line ever so easily. We'll have a throw in, 25 from home here for the Cockle Divers.
I was waiting for him to pass it. Took an absolute eternity. I thought surely not he's going to pin the ears back. He's not going to make the distance.
You're not going to kick
even
50 into this breeze today, I wouldn't think.
No. So he's done the smart thing. They get a boundary throw in. They can regroup. He wins the tap down to himself, albeit Kelly. Snapping high ball. Sinclair just fell before him. Does well at ground level to lay a tackle and not let it come out.
Good size, Sinclair, and pretty agile to get down for that tackle down at ground level. He's got some real promising attributes.
There's a bit happening off the ball there. Reynella player's gone down. Sproul in amongst it as well. The ball hasn't gone too far from that secondary stoppage. Umpire just taking a second longer to give it a chance to get out, but he's going to have it for a ball up. Rosa at the bottom of that pack for the Wine Flyers. Can Port Noarlunga strike back? Reynella kicked the first of this second term. Carpeny and Singh couldn't work it out. Young fella there's just got to jump into the car park.
Oh, I did that this morning too.
No good.
It's dangerous because you're stepping in mud as well. And it's new football boots too.
Wouldn't want to slip over.
How's that though? Round one, you've got wintry conditions straight up. Straight out of summer, it was 30 degrees, would you believe, only a week ago. And we're in 16 degrees down here at Port Noarlunga, but we wouldn't have it any other way. Players crashing in left, right and centre. And they're willing and able as the stakes have started and risen. Has the pressure meter for filming footy. Ball comes out towards Singh. Needs to wrap it up. Geez, that's some strong tackling at ground level. Stack of players around. Little snap. Gone to the right, unfortunately, off the boot there of Kobe Stewart. So Stewart on debut as well. Kicked 32 goals in the under 17.5s last year. So he knows where the sticks are, Jack.
He does.
Oh, God, let me go get
the
it
ball
again.
in, hit the point post.
Get some Benny Hill music out from the broadcast position, please, Sir James Moody, the
time.
wonderful ambassador here for filming footy, and the producer like no other.
Rosa shook his head in disgust. He's brought the ball in, played on. Long kick out of defence. Don't think it touched a hand. So, last touch inbound, last disposal inbound for Port Noarlunga, and the captain in Kelly is going to send this one back inside, long and strong. Sproul trying to outbody. It was off both sets of players, so the umpire said play on. Kapler's around it. So is Stewart. Didn't have it, the Reynella player. Oh no.
No, free kick for holding on. So Sprout.
Thought I saw a Reynella player go flying, but it was Carpeny.
Let's see the filming footy replay there because that you didn't see that coming.
I'm not so sure about that call.
Gary Carpeny, the 100-gamer, kicked a goal today already, so he's having a good day so far. And he's a pretty reliable shot at goal. 52 goals last year in 2025. On the tarmac, just chips it. Not online. So 2 early points for Port Noarlunga. We're 6.5 gone, second term. Not a lot happening here at Port Noarlunga Oval in terms of scoreboard impact, but hopefully the game opens up a little bit.
Yes, goals will be like diamonds today at the Port Noarlunga Oval. Nice little bit of body work out the back, so sends it back in with some interest. Sprout caught out of position. Comes towards the pack there at ground level to Carmen. Geez, the wind having some havoc there. Drifting up, and we should get a clearing ball. That inside-out torpedo, just a clearing kick. Trying to and kicking out of mid-air, so some interesting work just to try and kick that ball moving forward for the Wine Flies. Could have been in danger. It pokes out the back, only unfortunately, that's taken high. And they try to work the ball backwards there, the Wine Flies, but unfortunately, the free kick given there to Ortman, who was impressive in the first quarter. Dangerous kick, playing on immediately is Howley. That youthful exuberance goes to the top of the square. A great mark there at ground level. Has it been paid? I think it has to Nathan Hedger in game 200. So the big Hedge got the fence up and put the Dukes out. And geez, And got the sign out there on the far side. And wouldn't this inspire the troops if we can get this one against the grain, Jack?
Certainly would.
Hedger in game 200. He's only missed 2 games over the last 4 years. Such has been the consistency of the great man. Deliberate approach, off 2 steps and drills it straight through. So the Crocodiles open the account in the second term. And get the lead back there. So 3-4-22. It's a 3-1-19.
It's a team lifter. That's exactly what it is. This game, it's a little bit underdone at the moment. Both teams still not really demanding the football and demanding the lead. But maybe that right there, a bit of spirits can get them on their way.
Reward on the scoreboard. They had 3, 4, 5 inside 50s, kept pumping it back in. They finally get reward on the scoreboard. How much positivity do you think that'll create on the field for the lads?
Oh, it'll be heaps and heaps, you know. You really can't put a number on it, that they can just do what's right, and get reward.
There's the Lions, Stanford in the ruck. Stanford with the 2-footed jump. Got a good purchase on that hit out. Cleared by Reynella, only as far as Howley, though. He's had a good couple of minutes, James Howley. It's come to Reynella now. Was he being held, Marshman?
Oh, he is now. Yeah. The umpire changed his decision as soon as he roped the back of that Guernsey.
So this is for his second, Bailey Marshman. He's had a few looks around the ground, presenting well.
He always has a few looks. This guy is ultra consistent from last year.
For a big bloke, he moves bloody well too, doesn't he, Matt?
Yeah, he's very agile. Got great size about him.
In he comes, Bailey Marshman. Breeze at his back. Umpire does not move. Instant reply, Reynella.
I tell you what, we're inside the caravan here for filming footy. You could hear the thud off Marshman's boot and just the impact. He's got that bounce like the kangaroo tail. That was a phenomenal kick. Just a beautiful kicking style. You can see why he's got the 89 there. Adelaide Crows top-up player, 21 and 22, and a best return of 14 goals against Morphettvale last year in round 5. So Marshman starting to have an impact. You can see when they move the ball really quickly here, the wine flies. The Port Noarlunga Crocodiles just can't handle that fast ball movement, so they want to get it in quick, and can they do it off the back of another clearance here out of the middle? And
that's exactly what Maxi Savage wouldn't want down there, the young fella on Bailey Marshman. Quick ball movement. He might be exposed as the day goes on.
So Salai up in the ruck again, and he comes down. Oh, great work here. I think it might have been by Papworth, but good punch at ground level. Got players at ground level looking to pick it up. Just changes the decision there, Rodriguez, and great effect too. Saw something out of the corner of his eye at the last minute. Expected him to go down Main Street. He just fanned it out to the right. And that's a really tricky kick for a right footer in that situation, but he poked it perfectly.
This is McGuinness. Kick the first of the day, Matty, where you found that out at quarter time.
So Lockie McGuinness, coming off the 19 games and 8 goals last year, would love to have his second. Played his whole career in a 2024 premiership play at the Reynella Wineflies, and straight over the goal umpire's hat for another one. So back-to-back goals here for the Wineflies, and this game's starting to open up superbly.
Reward for effort. That's what it is. Reward for effort. 2 inside 50s, 2 goals for Reynella.
I'm claiming this good last 5 minutes of play from both sides. I was calling it a dour affair, and they've gone bang, bang, bang and lit up the Sportal scoreboard. So good on both teams. Got an absolute cracker on our hands here at Filming Footy.
One thing that's been really good is the rain has actually trimmed its own fat and just gone off to the side and drifted over towards Kangaroo Island, thankfully. But we'll still have some showers, no doubt, in the second half.
Sinclair waiting to come on there for Port Noarlunga.
Huge size, isn't he, the big Sherman?
Stanford. Stanford and Zalai in the ruck once again. Diving onto it was the Port Noarlunga player. How does the umpire see it? Says I'll have it.
Just looking out at Sherman down here at ground level, right in front of our broadcast position. He's lowered the ears on that haircut, hasn't he? Jeez, it looks scintillating.
It's the trend nowadays, Matty. I could see you rocking something like that.
Short back and sides every day of the week, Jackson. I'll tell you what, the boys from ProBuild are absolutely loving it over in LA as they crack their second, I think, responsibly.
I was going to go for double digits, but
a bit early for that. They've got to get through to half time yet.
Cleared by Port Noarlunga and well intercepted by Braden Nichols for the Wineflies in the orange boots. Down the line. Plenty of Reynella players around it. One of them, Marshman, brought to ground. Well done by Savage. And he roves his own ball, Max Savage, but he's brought down by Marshman. And it'll be another ball up. About 60 from home for Reynella. They've kicked the last 2.
So right half forward for the Wineflies. Can they get 3 on the trot here? We'll really start to open up this game. So we're out to a 9-point buffer at the moment. And it'll be really handy lead going into the second half of this second term. Good punch there by Salai coming over the top. And a quick kick inside, forward 50 in the Marshman direction. Geez, he worked himself into that contest, but a strong punch there by young Maxi Savage, who's got his work cut out for him, but he's a great size, young Maxi.
Oh, I was just about to say, I want a birth certificate check on that young bloke. There's no way he played 17s last year. That's extraordinary.
He must have been
Legs
the
like
golden
tree trunks.
fister of the year. They've given him the licence just to roam there, Max Savage. That's how much responsibility and respect and maturity he's got.
These young guys just live in the gym. That's the problem. Well, that's probably good for them.
So Marshman up against Salai. Good punch there by Salai. Coming over the top of the well built there, Marshman. And held up there is Tyler Davies. Just about to kick it and got held up.
I'll tell you what, these young fellas live in the gym, a bit like the bloke next to us here, Ollie. Dropped 15 over the off-season. Matty Gale looking in great nick.
Back to the action. Punched into a dangerous position. Got numbers starting to build up here, the Wineflies. They can smell another one. They've got another one. Unbelievable snap out of that contest. And that is a great kick there to Delahunty.
Marshman.
Sorry, Marshman, was it?
Take a look at it on the Dartfish replay.
Well, there's Delahunty brought to ground. A Marshman, right foot snapper, opportunist goal, and he's got his third.
A danger signs already.
Wow, so that is dangerous signs here at the Port Noarlunga Oval as the game is starting to just drift away from the home side here, Jack.
Well, we're speaking at quarter time. We can't make a fair assessment until both sides have kicked with the breeze, and Reynella are making the most of it, 4-1 in this second term.
The old adage of make hay while the sun shines is coming to fruition as we speak.
Adam Hartlett, a former defender in his own right, so he'll be looking closely at the back six and wondering what's going on. That last goal there, something out of nothing. So it's back in the middle. Slapped forward by Sinclair, and Ortman is out. Takes it cleanly, delivers just at the top of 50. Trickles inside, slapped towards the boundary line by Crichton. Big Maxi Crichton got crunched.
Didn't he just?
Holding the ball as well, says the umpire.
Ooh. He was met harshly there and couldn't respond.
Down the line for Reynella. Plenty of big blokes around it. Brought to ground. Kicked forward by Sota. Delahunty flew, knocked out his teammate in the process. It's with Reynella. Plenty of Port Noarlunga players around it. One of them is Tom Dix. Under pressure. And good pressure there by Reynella to force the turnover. Marshman stopped on a dime, put it inside 50. That's a throw. That is a throw, and the umpire saw it. His hands weren't that quick.
Player down in front of us.
I think the umpire's given some 25 here.
Blake.
I think there's a bit of back. Yeah, it's a little bit of foul language by the...
Matty, just on that player down, Blake Rodriguez, he was the collateral from Liam Delahunty's big fly in that pack just before.
Right.
I think he copped one to the schnoz. So hopefully he's all right. Just get the blood taped
Rodriguez
up.
on debut. He's a little bit groggy as he walks to the boundary line right in front of us here. Murphy streams from half-back, pumps it towards Sproul. 1-on-3, the big man couldn't get his hands to the ball. I'll tell you what, is that...
Marshman.
Marshman has gone behind the ball. So Marshman, instrumental in this quarter. He's kicked 2. He almost set up another goal, and he's gone behind the ball. So very versatile player. Great size about him. And for a player that kicked 89 goals, you don't see that very often heading up the ground that far. So quick kick out of the clearance. There's the foot race on. Leading all comers on that far side there is young James Howley. Got some composure. Goes to Murphy. A little bit too much heat on the hand pass. Wineflies queuing up. Should have been a free kick for holding on. Not seen by the umpire. Comes towards Murphy. Spins this way, that way. Clever little poker. They're away on that far side.
They are. Sinclair. That's not where he wants to kick. He had to do the groundwork, but he's done brilliantly. Laid a couple of tackles, but Reynella can pump it forward. Murphy sitting in the hole. Got crunched fairly,
Jeez,
says the umpire.
that'll test his little metal vertebrae in his neck that he's got. We spoke to him before the game, and I think it was his L5, wasn't it?
C5.
L5 and 6 is made of metal.
Oh, there you go. He's
Hopefully not
always
too
had neck
rusty.
problems.
They think he's a bit dodgy when they go through the airport. Him and his young family, but he lights up like a big party light. Off hands, Murphy, first one in pursuit for Port Noarlunga. Arches the back, can clear for Port Noarlunga. Ortman in the hole. Ooh. Sproul crashing. He did the dirty work on the ground too, Sproul. Got it to Howley, and they get it to half forward. Hedger. Their only goal in this quarter is around it, as well as Kapler. The blonde locks shining like a diamond out there. He's throwing his weight around Nichols, run down by Hedger. And the umpire will have it. About 60 from home for Port Noarlunga.
Got some size about him, Big Hedge. And he made him earn that ball just there. So can the Crocodiles get one against the grain? 4 on the trot here for the Wineflies. Players throwing themselves willingly at the moment. Quick kick out of that contest, and sitting in the back there was Liam Reid, who read it superbly. So he's got a switch on. Comes out to the broadcast side to Copley. Made to earn it. Stood there and accepted the challenge. Dishes off to Kirkland. Good build up here. Clever one down the line. They've got Scotland on. He's a productive ball user. Winds up. Heads forward. Looking for that key target. Marshman, is the roving position. He's brought down by Murphy. So a couple of the heavyweights amongst the action. Could have been over the shoulder. Umpire says, play on, boys. Scotland dishes off. Sherman. Just bounces off. Gives the don't argue. And coughs the ball up.
He does. And they're away here, Port Noarlunga, with Sproul. He's got Kapler on down the line. Goes in that direction. Just a bit too much height on that one. McGuinness could impact as the defender, but Kapler could soccer it forward. Copley's first onto the scene for Reynella. The ball's kept in only momentarily. And it is at half forward now for Port Noarlunga. So a good bit of rebounding play from the turnover for the Cockle Divers, and they desperately need the next one.
It was hot. It was heated there. A couple of crunches in front of us here in the commentary box.
There was a couple of bone-crunching bumps and tackles. Rodriguez just got clobbered in the face moments ago as well, if you've just joined us for Reynella. Hopefully he can come back on. It's at half forward now for Reynella from that clearance. Murphy with a one-handed scoop with a bit of poise.
Ooh.
Knocked as he kicked it was Flesfader. Found his young teammate at half back, and he can go down the line to a big contest. Kelly standing tall, brought it to ground. Potter off hands. Tyler Davies, the captain for Reynella, streaming forward. Well worked by hands. Reid flicks it over the top. Arnold inside 50. Ooh. Good interception, Lucas Marshall.
Went straight between the two forwards there. Marshman crying out for it, but he did have the player on short there, which was Rodriguez.
Are you really telling me Marshman was?
No, it wasn't Rodriguez. He's still on the bench. So, little poke out the pocket. Clever little kick. They just need ball in hand at the moment, Port Noarlunga, just to take some ascendancy away from the Wineflies, who have been lighting it up on the Sportal scoreboard this quarter. So just gaining some momentum through Dix.
Good to see Rodriguez back out on the ground, Matty. He only had a short spell from that heavy knock a few
Great
moments
to
ago.
see him back out there. And a high up and under kick there by Maxi Savage. And unfortunately, that has gone out of bounds on the full. So we're into time on, second term. Papworth just about to re-enter the fray. And there's no peroxide in that one there, Jackson, as he has a look. And he's had a good lick of the top lip and the Milo tin this morning before the game. Right half forward, a wobbly ball inside forward 50. Marshman couldn't take the mark. Great rove in the end by Davies. Quick kick on the boot. Oh, must have been cool play on by the umpire. Some great follow-up work. Maxi Savage with a brilliant smother. Goal-saving smother in the end. I tell you what, he's got maturity well beyond his years, young Maxi Savage. He took the brunt to that, and if he didn't get the smother, it would have been straight into the beak.
The clearing kick's gone straight out of bounds. So Damon Arnold's got it for a last disposal inbound. Who can fly? All Port Noarlunga around this ball. One of them, Murphy, mowed down by Potter. Umpire circling. Ball comes out. Flying shot at goal. Out on the full.
Had a couple of kicks which haven't quite gone well near the player. The wind, it's messing with the kicks. A lot of out in the falls just in the last 5 minutes too.
Must just be pushing across the ground slightly, I reckon.
Might be coming from the sea over the hill.
Said to wait a while, you young Papworth, and he's been pretty impressive in the first half, Jack.
Definitely has. So no signs of a switch on offer here for Port Noarlunga. Expect them to go long down the line just to get it out of there. They've been under siege in this second term. And Reynella have another chance from the turnover. Delahunty, I think, has left that thinking it might have gone through the goals, and it went through for a minor score.
Seacombe on debut there. Just could not find the big sticks and had a fair allowance of Delahunty. So Lachlan Murphy to do the kick-in duties. Great to catch up with him pre-game. And flicked up on the old Facebook memories this morning, Jack, of a picture of Lockie Murphy and I in another place at a different location. But he has got a great memory. I'm glad he remembered me. But Murphy has had plenty of the ball, all behind the ball. Playing that quarterback role superbly for the Cockle Divers this afternoon. Bit of a shallow kick in. Comes towards Davies, done a lot of bollocking, and he's brought down the big ball. We're left half forward here for the Wineflies. We're 24 minutes down, and it's a 16-point handy buffer here to the Wineflies.
4 goals to 1 in this term for Reynella. Can they get a late one before half-time? Papworth into the fray now. Kapler brought down without it. Ooh. Good tackle. Rush kick forward. Sproul takes it cleanly. Needs to get a handball away. Didn't. Held onto it. Holding the ball. Excellent tackle.
That was terrific umpiring. He just waited there superbly, that umpire. Don't see that often.
Lewis Bird pumps it inside 50. Nearly got the journey. Marshman floating back into the pack. Brought to ground. Snapping ball. Poster by Brad Potter.
It certainly is a skill as an umpire to just delay your decision to see the next 1.5 seconds.
Yeah, you picked that well. You picked that up extremely well there, Ollie. So well picked up by you. So Lachlan Murphy given a little bit of allowance on the kick in. Pumps one out to that far side in the direction of Singh in a 1-on-2. And that's a beautiful golden fist over the boundary line there by Lockie McGuinness. And we'll have a ball thrown in 65 from home. Gained a bit of yardage from that punch.
One of the unique features of this oval is the kangaroo droppings.
Did notice that in the pre-game.
You don't go home smelling like kangaroo poo and didn't do your job.
Ollie giving us all sorts of delights here at Port Noarlunga Oval. And we just had a few rinse and repeats here from the central umpires. Doing a terrific job here today, Alex Kerr and Josh Niederer. Good punch in the end by Sinclair. Building himself into the game. Goes back to Murphy. Goes a swinger around the corner. Pushed into the contest. And that's a throw every day of the week. Umpire agrees. So Davies just building in terrifically well. Goes a little chipper. Inboard to Rodriguez. Great to see him back out in the action. Says, I'm going long. Goes in the direction of Marshman. Gets a big foot right in the middle of his back there. Some roving required. Comes to ground level. Geez, they're throwing themselves in. As the pressure meter starts to rise as we head towards red time here, second term. 17 points the margin, match high lead thus far for the Wineflies. Good tap to ground level. Is there a late goal in this term? Quick kick out of the contest. They'll need a mark and some reprieve and respite for the defenders who are under the pump here, Port Noarlunga. The ball held up 48 from home here for the Wineflies.
Ollie, part of your job is just thinking of who is the best on ground that gets the Archie thongs and the filming footy beanie. So I'll leave that with you as the day goes on, mate.
I'm certainly thinking a couple of names. One, Marshman, is taking my fancy.
Beautiful. Ball inside 50 here for Reynella. About 20 from home. It's spilled out. Probably shouldn't have spilled out. There's a couple of Reynella players there. Rodriguez. They celebrate. Umpires confirming. All clear. So Rodriguez, after a heavy hit, back involved, hat kick, went through. 5 goals to 1 in this second term, and that's a bit of a killer blow for Port Noarlunga.
Yeah.
They couldn't just hold on to half-time or get one of their own, and there's about 27 to 28 minutes gone, 27 on your screen there, and it's a 23-point lead for Reynella.
That's a real momentum builder, that one there from Rodriguez, and showing all of his wealth of experience. 96 games at South Adelaide, the Yankalilla Junior, including 4 in the league last year. After a bit of a harsh start there, copping a knock in the second term, that's a great response by him. So back to the middle. We thought there might be a late goal. That is a match height, 23 points, 45 playing 22. Is there another late goal here? Time on, second term. All the action brought to you by Aussie Inn at Hackham. Pro Build, the boys are over in LA as they pump one out of the middle there. Port Noarlunga goes to Sproul, looking to play on. Pumps it in. Has he got a player at the back there? Goes over the head there of Carpenter, unfortunately. And a well-judged mark in the end.
We've got drama here because not for any of the teams, but the RAA van has pulled up. Crowd drama.
She's a fantastic mark there. Jeez, he's extremely well built there, O'Grady. And gets the inside 450 and an easily well-read mark. So a bit of a kick-to-kick here.
He's been super, Whittaker. That's his 4th intercept mark.
His attack on the ball's been ferocious from the defensive line, which is a rarity to see a player with that much intensity.
High up and under. Sinclair. O'Grady. Ball spilled out. Kelly. Half time. So on the Sportal scoreboard, it is half time. Round 1 action here in the Southern Football League. 3-4-22. Plays 7-3-45. The Wine Flies 5 goals to 1 in that quarter. Marshman leads all comers with 3. Tyler Davies is having a super day for Reynella. Lockie Murphy's been super for his first game for the Port Noarlunga Cockle Divers. Don't go anywhere, footy fans. A short half-time break and second half action not too far away. You're watching right here on Filming Footy. At ProBuild Australia, we specialise in insurance building repairs, restoration and make-safes, delivering fast, reliable service when it matters most. Whether it's storm, fire, water damage or just a broken window, PBA has you covered across South Australia, Victoria, New South Wales and Queensland. Trusted by insurers, backed by quality and built on performance.
Air Diffusion Agencies are the market leader in air conditioning component manufacturing. Using state-of-the-art technologies to design and innovate, they have the largest range of components for all air conditioning, heating and ventilation systems. Air Diffusion are proudly Australian family-owned, trading for over 30 years and employing over 150 experienced staff. Servicing all of Adelaide with 3 huge locations, they really are your one-stop air conditioning trade centre. So demand Air Diffusion products in your home or business.
At ProBuild Australia, we specialise in insurance building repairs, restoration and make-safes, delivering fast, reliable service when it matters most. Whether it's storm, fire, water damage, or just a broken window, PBA has you covered across South Australia, Victoria, New South Wales, and Queensland. Trusted by insurers, backed by quality, and built on performance.
Air Diffusion Agencies are the market leader in air conditioning component manufacturing. Using state-of-the-art technologies to design and innovate, they have the largest range of components for all air conditioning, heating and ventilation systems. Air Diffusion are proudly Australian family-owned, trading for over 30 years and employing over 150 experienced staff. Servicing all of Adelaide with 3 huge locations, they really are your one-stop air conditioning trade centre. So demand Air Diffusion products in your home or business.
At ProBuild Australia, we specialise in insurance building repairs, restoration and make-safes, delivering fast, reliable service when it matters most. Whether it's storm, fire, water damage or just a broken window, PBA has you covered across South Australia, Victoria, New South Wales and Queensland. Trusted by insurers, backed by quality and built on performance.
Air Diffusion Agencies are the market leader in air conditioning component manufacturing. Using state-of-the-art technologies to design and innovate, they have the largest range of components for all air conditioning, heating and ventilation systems. Air Diffusion are proudly Australian family-owned, trading for over 30 years and employing over 150 experienced staff. Servicing all of Adelaide with 3 huge locations, they really are your one-stop air conditioning trade centre. So demand Air Diffusion products in your home or business.
At ProBuild Australia, we specialise in insurance building repairs, restoration and make-safes, delivering fast, reliable service when it matters most. Whether it's storm, fire, water damage or just a broken window, PBA has you covered across South Australia, Victoria, New South Wales and Queensland. Trusted by insurers, backed by quality and built on performance.
Air Diffusion Agencies are the market leader in air conditioning component manufacturing. Using state-of-the-art technologies to design and innovate, they have the largest range of components for all air conditioning, heating and ventilation systems. Air Diffusion are proudly Australian family-owned, trading for over 30 years and employing over 150 experienced staff. Servicing all of Adelaide with 3 huge locations, they really are your one-stop air conditioning trade centre. So demand Air Diffusion products in your home or business.
At ProBuild Australia, we specialise in insurance building repairs, restoration and make-safes, delivering fast, reliable service when it matters most. Whether it's storm, fire, water damage or just a broken window, PBA has you covered across South Australia, Victoria, New South Wales and Queensland. Trusted by insurers, backed by quality and built on performance.
Air Diffusion Agencies are the market leader in air conditioning component manufacturing. Using state-of-the-art technologies to design and innovate, they have the largest range of components for all air conditioning, heating and ventilation systems. Air Diffusion are proudly Australian family-owned, trading for over 30 years and employing over 150 experienced staff. Servicing all of Adelaide with 3 huge locations, they really are your one-stop air conditioning trade centre. So demand Air Diffusion products in your home or business.
At ProBuild Australia, we specialise in insurance building repairs, restoration and make-safes, delivering fast, reliable service when it matters most. Whether it's storm, fire, water damage or just a broken window, PBA has you covered across South Australia, Victoria, New South Wales and Queensland. Trusted by insurers, backed by quality and built on performance.
Air Diffusion Agencies are the market leader in air conditioning component manufacturing. Using state-of-the-art technologies to design and innovate, they have the largest range of components for all air conditioning, heating and ventilation systems. Air Diffusion are proudly Australian family-owned, trading for over 30 years and employing over 150 experienced staff. Servicing all of Adelaide with 3 huge locations, they really are your one-stop air conditioning trade centre. So demand Air Diffusion products in your home or business.
Half time, just about wrapping up here at Port Noarlunga Oval. Thanks to ProBuild Australia for bringing us today's game here on Filming Footy. The Aussie in at Hackham and air diffusion agencies. And a big hello to the big dogs of Pro Build Australia, absolutely lapping it up in LA at the moment, watching from afar. Filming Footy is global, so if you can't make it to any games that we stream across Australia, I should say, make sure you're watching it in the comfort of your lounge room, and you probably want to on a day like today at Port Noarlunga. It's blustery, it's a bit rainy, and the conditions have proved to be a bit tricky for both sides as Reynella take a 22-point lead into half-time. A little bit of a score correction there. We thought it was 3-4, but it's 3-5 for Port Noarlunga. Myself, Jack Bearwell on the call. Matty Gale to my left in the big fur coat. Looks a bit like Macklemore. And Ollie Riddle to my right, the Southern Footy League expert. Gents, how did we see the first half?
Yeah, very entertaining. Just thought the Wildflies started to get on top in that second term. 4-1. Be interesting to see how this premiership quarter goes. Can Port Noarlunga seemingly get themselves back into the game? They just they're very lacklustre in that second term. And I think the Wildflies, they're ready to take this game off the Crocodiles. It'll be interesting third term whether they can stay in touch here. They need scoreboard pressure on there for Port Noarlunga, but do they have that ability to go through Sprower and connect through him? Jack, I'm not sure.
Yeah, certainly felt that way. It was very ominous feeling in that second term where it was 5-1 for Reynella. Just before we crack into the second half, today is, of course, the Chris Leary Memorial Round in Round 1 of the Southern Footy League. For the second year running, the SFL acknowledged Round 1 as the Chris Leary Memorial Round in honour of a prominent ambassador and innovative leader of the SFL community. He was the president of the SFL for 19 years, and his service has spanned over 4 decades to this league. So a great initiative by the league to honour a great servant of community football. Ollie, firstly, we'll get your thoughts on the first half, some of the key players that stood out to you, and we'll get some around the grounds updates as well from the other games in the SFL.
I think Marshman is by far Reinella's leading man. He is their go-to guy. He grabs this team by the throat, and if he plays well, they win. And that's pretty much exactly what we saw in the first half. I thought Patworth did well. I thought Tyler Davies was good, as well as Copley. There's a couple of younger guys supporting Lunga, maybe Trezise, maybe Patrick Carman, who hasn't been cited at all, Kobe Stewart, younger guys who could probably get into the game. But looking around the guys, they're looking around the grounds, I should say. I've got some mail. Every good journo doesn't reveal their source. But it's a 55-point margin heading Ironbank's way against Morphett Vale. The Crocodiles will be playing Morphett Vale next week too.
Okay, just see some movement at the station here. Lockie Murphy's gone into the forward line at half forward for the Crocodiles. So it'll be interesting to see if he can hit the scoreboard this quarter. And ball only moments away being thrown up in this premiership turn here. Port Noarlunga Oval. 22-point lead at the half-time. They're back into it, so Kapler gets the clearance, goes straight down Main Street to Sproul. Links up with Murphy on his right, opposite peg. Has he got the distance? Has he got the measure? He has! So Lockie Murphy, we mentioned it just before the third quarter commenced. He's gone up forward and he's made an instant impact, and you'll see on the instant replay here for Sportle. Great positioning, 101 for a rover. Got the linkage on the opposite foot. And that's as probably good as you'll see for an opposite kick today this afternoon, Jack.
I certainly agree. Ollie, what do you reckon the message was at half-time? Contest, get it forward. And that's what happens?
Exactly right. That's exactly what they would have been wanting at half-time. Straight away, Murphy, straight through the big sticks. 10 out of 10. The most perfect start. But it's about backing it up now.
And he's gone forward as well, Matty. He did say in the pre-game he'll sort of float wherever. He was at half-back, and now they need to spark up forward. And he's done just that. Clearance now for Reynella. It's with Kirkland on his left boot. Found Papworth. Was it a mark? Yes, it was. Looked to have played on. Wheels onto his right. Pumps it inside 50. Delahunty. It's going to fall short of him, though. And a good intercepting mark by the Port Noarlunga defender, dropping in the hole. He's going to come to this near side. Thumps it out of defence. They've got the breeze this quarter, the Cockledivers. Can they continue this early momentum? Good tackle on Billy Cook by little Brad Potter there. Ball up just outside 50 for the Wine Flies. Plenty of open territory for Port Noarlunga if they can get a clean clearance. The ball up didn't favour the ruckman though. Hacked off the deck. Come to the outer side. Ooh. Shoved in the back was Liam Reid. He's got a free kick.
So Reid in the heart of the Port Noarlunga Oval. Looking to move the ball on quickly. Deliberate approach, goes to Marshman, double clunker, played the mark, looked like it was off hands. Plays on immediately and pumps it inside forward 50. Lovely kick in the direction of Delahunty. Couldn't take the mark. That was a terrific contest on that far side. Ball held up and eventually spills out of play for a boundaries throw in, 27 from home.
In his first game for the club, Delahunty's had an almost day, I feel. He's been to a lot of contests, just hasn't clunked.
He hasn't
many.
quite impacted just yet, but I'll tell you what, a player like him just needs a 5-minute spurt and it could be 3 quick ones on the board. Great tackling there at ground level and wrapped up immediately by Copley. So momentum did shift towards the Wineflies in that second term, and they'll be looking to hit the Sportal scoreboard into the breeze. Good work here by Davies, inside-out slicer, looking for a player in that pocket, finds him, curls one around the corner, and a lovely mark there by Salai, who's been impressive in the ruck in this opening half. Goes a little chipper and finds Billy Cook there. So pretty slow with the movement here. Need to get the ball on. Umpire demands he gets rid of it, and he does. Goes out towards Sprout. No mark taken. Oh, weave some magic. Clever work. Sold the candy. And a lovely little chipper there by Arnold. They go inside 50 again. Lovely kick, and Duke's out. We spoke about Delahunt. He just needed a 5-minute little moment of opportunity, and this could be it, Jack. Tough kick from this pocket. We'll need to hit that right-hand goalpost immediately on the top of it because that will see how much it'll drift. But he's a powerful player. And he looks like a bit of a Cam Zerhart variety for mine, minus the tattoos, Jack. Now he's going to kick from just around 45, curled up against the boundary. This would have to be the goal of the day if he can... Oh, just drifts across late and punched out of bounds.
Cam Zohar's a good shout. Jordan DeGoey, another one with tats. Maybe Delahunty's missing something.
Oh,
there.
we don't encourage that. We don't encourage the ink. But over to you, Jack. An interesting phase of this game.
Yeah, it is. Port Noarlunga kicked the only one of this first term. 4 minutes gone here on Filming Footy. Salai grabs it out of the ruck, goes to run away, but Reynella say, come back here. Another little hack kick. Doesn't go too far. Plenty of bodies around it. Umpire giving plenty of time for the ball to spill out. Eventually claiming it. Plenty of players around this one. Inside 50, charging through and laying a big tackle was number 15. Oh, Alex Lawley. My bad. Didn't have the number written down. Another gang tackle by Lawley and co. Rodriguez, another secondary ball up, about 20 out from Renella's goal.
So opportunity begs here for the Wineflies. Marshman tries to take it out of the ruck. And stripped of it immediately. They've got that extra player there. Smothered off the boot there of Lawley. And some strong tackling. The umpire says my ball. So the ball's only moved about 2 metres, one would feel.
It's a big opportunity, though. Multiple ball-ups in a row. Reynella, they need a crummer.
Just in the arm wrestle mode, both teams at the moment. It's a quick kick out of that contest. Will drift out of play.
Jeez.
And it'll be a free kick for last position. Give the players a bit of a chance for a respite there as that ball just curled along the boundary line fence. And he'll have to go and retrieve that. He was waiting for somebody to get it for him. But unfortunately, for Paddy Carmen, for Richard O'Grady, he's going to have to go and get his own ball.
I thought you just cast a secret spell there, Ollie. You would have been right on cue with that flying shot at goal.
I saw your reaction. You really popped up there.
It's always good when you can cast your eye into the future and it comes true. Not this time. Straight down the eye, diddle O'Grady, but it's all Reynella off hands. Kelly coming through like a steam train.
Ooh.
Well done.
Wrapped
Got
up
the
by
arms.
Nichols.
Tackled the arms.
Strong tackle by Nichols on the bigger opponent on that occasion. Lawley's just sitting all on his own there.
Ooh.
Met heavily. O'Grady come through with the shoulder. Lawley had no idea about it. Just a little shirt front. Straight down the guts, into inside 50. Shallow entry for Reynella. Plenty of numbers around it. Marshman, left foot ball in the front, in the feet of Delahunty. With a bit of poise. The Port Noarlunga defender arched his back. It's a high one though, and Marshman.
Magnificent.
He's not going to go back. He's going to centre it.
Oh!
Delahunty. Front on contact, high, a mark, whatever you want to call it. He's got the free kick.
That was
Precision
an
there.
inspirational mark there by Delahunty there, because that was courage under fire.
The best part of that came from Marshman because he played on straight away. He took the mark, moved it straight away. Delahunty, perfect lead. They're in sync, those two.
Great call. Can he convert now? He had a soda tight on the boundary moments ago. We are right behind this one. Yushin, your cameraman.
Ooh.
And it's swaying. No score.
As you can see by those last two shots, that wind really starting to play havoc. Almost some sideways movement with those last two shots on goal, such as the strength of the breeze. So big kick from that last line of defence. Great work out the back there by Carpenter. Dishes off. So they bide their time. Long one down the line. Hits the wing. Just needs a kind bounce here, Kapler. Eventually gets it in his direction. Quick switch out. Smart play there by Kapler. He's in the direction of Tresize. Needs to be composed, the young fella. Gets it to Murphy. A little sizzler. Sproul.
Jeez, I thought he was going to eye him up, Matty.
Ooh,
Right behind
it
it.
would have been hard to ignore there, Sprowley, because he would demand the ball, but that was clever. And how's the composure from young Xander Tresize on debut?
Yep.
Needed to guide that one out to Lockie Murphy. Needed he had to take some heat, and he did, and absorb the tackles, and eventually Lockie Murphy with some sublime skills down the throat of Sproul. Sproul lining up for his first, remarkably. Tough conditions, drifting from left to right, the breeze. He guides it through. Lovely goal from Sproul. And they've kicked two in the premiership quarter here. Port Noarlunga mounting a charge. And that reduces the margin back to a very, very comfortable 11 points.
It's exactly what they needed after half-time. Almost pinpoint perfect. Get out there, really put their weight around, get the crowd involved and kick the goals.
Couple of headaches here for the coach, Milo. Brendan McKeough is his proper name.
Wonder how he got Milo.
Brendan
not
McKeough
sure.
played a fair amount down at South Adelaide back in the day, I think.
Was line up against him back in the day, Matty?
No,
No.
I can't remember. Might be my era.
Zalai and Stanford in the ruck. Only two of this third quarter the way of the Cockle Divers and the reigning premier of this division. Thanks to Pro Build Australia for bringing you today's broadcast here on Filming Footy. The Aussie in at Hackham with a brand new redevelopment, says our special comments extraordinaire, Ollie Riddle.
Brand new indeed.
And Diffusion Australia. Cleared by Reynella. Rodriguez had some good moments today. Reed, high up and under, right in front of both boxes. Rodriguez ran past it, got a poor bounce. Plenty of players around it. One of them is Maxi Crichton. And we're right in the thick of it here. We can smell the deep heat. You're on Filming Footy. Zalai, Stanford won that one. Papworth, high up and under, centering ball. If it turns over, it could be dangerous. Flesfader, clear and kick. Ran under it, did Copley. Murphy, sat upon him. The home fans, they're building in voice. The Cockle Divers.
Yeah, well done there by Murphy, just to corral Copley and look to get that umpiring decision there. Not in his favour. Quick crow throw out the back.
Was.
Some smart work here at ground level. Just rides the tackle there, Ortman, but he's done holding the ball. Prior opportunity was spent. So the Whiteflyers just starting to get the ball back on their turns. Lovely work by Marshman as he loses the left boot there. Long way up the ground. Probably almost needs to kick to himself. Is exactly where he needs to go. But he's goes in an interesting kick. And that one is done holding the ball as well. So great work here. The intensity's really lifted in this third term here by Port Noarlunga. The switch is on. So great work by Billy Cook. Oh, couldn't quite take the mark there was Howley. Has the time and composure there on his side. Over the head of Singh. Foot races on. Then Singh with a little bit of fresh legs gives it a little one inside forward 50. Sprout. Carell's out the back. Some smart work goes to Sprout now. Does he size up? Goes to Slicer. He's got it. So Sproul with 2 on the trot. And after 77 last year, he's starting to light up the Sportal scoreboard with 2 in a row.
How's
and the margin.
Hands? How's those hands from Singh?
Made by Singh, that goal. He ran it right up along the outer wing. Hadn't seen a lot of it. Hadn't seen enough of it. But when he gets it, something just happens.
As the rain starts to tumble down here. Look at that beautiful Sportal scoreboard. Maybe there is no rain. I did see some rain just moments ago. Must just be a passing shower here at Noarlunga. 6-4, 40 plays 7-3, 45.
Just interesting with the scoring efficiency is pretty good for this weather. Unbelievable.
Zelaya wins the ruck down. Kapler in pursuit. So's Kelly. Kelly claims it and he skips away. Kicks it into Papworth. Fell fortuitously for Arnold. Stanford high up and under. Both players want a free kick. Billy Cook tried to stream through. Couldn't quite. Flesh fader hurries his opponent, but he got a kick away, and it's Delahunty. Marks 48 out. Turns straight away. Rodriguez. Double grabber. Jack. 6-4. So this would be a pressure-relieving goal here if Rodriguez can convert. Kicked a brilliant goal in the second term. All the momentum with the home side.
Looks a little strappy at the moment.
It's not a simple kick as it might look. 30 out directly in front. Tough breeze. And he's pushed it to the near side. Minor score. Even goal game as the rain now starts to tumble.
This breeze is just starting to change
Well,
minute
you can
by
see
minute.
it now.
Yeah, it's really started to hammer along. So, great kick out from that full-back position. Straight up Main Street looking for Sproul. Out the back to Carpeny. They're off to the races. Little clever slicer. Tumble. Geez, that's some smart play. And a great tackle. Some fantastic football being played at the Port Noarlunga Oval. Quick kick out of the contest there by Kelly. Clean bowl, Singh. Goes out the back to Sproul. Can he hold on? He's about to kick his third in a row there, big Sprowley. Left foot peck. He's gone again. So Sproul with 3 in a row. And they've hit the lead here, the Cockle Divers.
All square.
She's all square. Sorry, Jackson.
All good.
With that point. But how's the kick out from fullback? It just sets up everything.
What has happened to Reynella? Have they got a goal this quarter?
They have not. 4 goals to zip. They've scored 1 point.
So that point there was the only score they've had for the quarter.
Port Lunga have come out firing, and Sproul's been the man.
He has been the man. Geez, it was Jaden close with the kick out of full back. I thought the kick was going to be smothered. He got super close to the man on the mark, but ended up sending it 70.
70.
Shermer and Sinclair now in the ruck. Sinclair for Port Noarlunga. Played his role beautifully today. Soars, but doesn't get the tap down. Hacked off the deck. Inside 50. Close. Play on. Drop the mark.
Ooh.
He'll be spewing. He had that in the breadbasket. He let it slip out.
Can we talk about, I think it was Sauter before, that just fancy volleyball sort of style flick
Yes.
over his head.
That would have been insane if they could get a goal from that. But the Port Noarlunga pressure meter has gone right up in this third term. Another couple of big tackles. Davies. Delahunty under it. Double grabber.
Well, this is his third opportunity this quarter here, Delahunty, and he's got to make this one. He's looked really dangerous up there, Jack.
He has. He's been imposing. Looked a bit ominous in this third term. And I said it before, but this is pressure relieving if he can kick it. 4 in a row. You can hear the car horns honking. Just snuck through. Jeez, I don't know what my eyes were doing. I thought it might have clipped the post on the way through. Maybe it hit the net at the back.
Made the goal umpire work, but it's pushed through, and that's what you get for 45 games for West Adelaide. Him and Marshall are a good one-punch duo up forward.
2-punch?
2-punch. I said 1-punch. Yeah, 2-punch too. There's 2 of them.
It's one of Sproul's couple of goals in this third term.
So an important
Delahunt.
goal there to the Wine Flyers. They get themselves back in the lead, and that was one against the Tide there, and a much-needed goal. So been a scintillating third term. 4 goals to 1 on the Sportal scoreboard. We said earlier in the day that 8 goals will win it. Well, might need to revisit that to about 12. Thankfully, the rain has held off for the time being. But back to the middle. Sinclair, Shermer. And well held up in the middle. Have a rinse and repeat. Let's see a couple of players on the bench just getting the old Metzel rubbed in. Getting themselves fired up for this last quarter. It's going to be a ding-dong battle in the last term. Straight up Main Street. Reading it Sapul. And the only one that was really in a position to mark it there was Billy Cook.
Turnover.
So he's turned it over immediately, Billy Cook, unfortunately. Little chipper into the middle. Clever kick. Finds Lawley. Looking to play it on. Great run again from Scotland. Dishes out to McGuinness. Not his best hand pass, but enough time to revisit. Little poker to the top of the 50. No mark taken. Good punch. And walks straight into danger. Danger, high voltage. Plenty of Wine Flyers. Oh, went straight up his middle there, McGuinness. Could have got a free kick downfield. And I tell you what, he's endured some work there. Is close.
The lights are coming.
His fend off was his wrongdoing there. And some terrific work. This last few minutes here from Kirkland have been superb. Really inspiring.
The lights are on here at the
He's on
ground
again.
now.
Great kick to Delahunty over his head. And a terrific mark in the end there to Lucas Marshall.
Lights are on, Ollie.
Lights are on. I'm looking at them. All 4 pillars.
It is getting dark. Tell you what, I don't think those lights would do much on a Tuesday and Thursday night. There's about 4 on each pole. Don't know if Fitzy could pull some strings there. Get a couple of upgrades for the lights, perhaps. There they are in all their glory. Ball in. 50 from home for Reynella. Another shower just passed through a couple of minutes ago, so relatively dry on the deck. Wrapped up Kobe Stewart. His numbers in the 17s last year, sensational. 32 goals, 13 times in the best players. Obviously too good for that level. And he's rightly in the team today. It is hot in the kitchen down there. Renella's pressure has gone up in the last 5 minutes. Rodriguez, one of those. Wraps up O'Grady.
The stakes have risen here at the Port Noarlunga Oval. And that goal has definitely turned the tide here. Good punch in the end. Great work there by Stanford. Give him some quality minutes as that secondary ruck. And the ball held up and the umpire circling says, my ball.
You've called for Singh around the ball. There he is.
About time. Should have happened straight away. Murphy and Sinner should have started in the centre bounce. But Murphy has been good off half back and up forward. Sinner hasn't seen much of it.
So Stanford and Sinclair. Sinclair down on all 4s. Bobbles around. They're not going too far and wrapped up. In the end there is Stanford. So can they break the deadlock here? Closing in on time on it. Premiership terms, Stanford and Sinclair. Oh, this could have been gone here. Had prior opportunity and umpire agrees. So Patworth just stuck in his pocket. And some smart work there. Sniffed out that potential goal. And as all good players with forward craft, lay the tackling chains on when you need it. And he'll have a shot on goal. Man on the mark. About 35 from home. But it will feel like he's kicking from 50. Given that he's kicking right into the teeth of that breeze, which is, as you can tell by the flag behind the goal, it is building as we speak. Carhorn's trying to put him off, and he goes straight out to the right-hand side, holds up. Will it stay in play?
Oh.
Opportunist goal begging. Umpire says play on. Great dish out the back, goes to Scotland. Umpire says play. No,
Ooh.
he's called the mark. It should have been non-15.
He played on and then he called the mark.
Well, interesting. And young Maxi Savage is given a little reprieve there by the umpire.
He was, and he pumps it long out of defence, but they couldn't create a contest and bring it to ground. Whitaker. That's number 5 intercept mark today.
Been impressive down back, hasn't he?
He has. And I'll tell you what, Port Noarlunga look dangerous when they just go long and strong like that. If they can bring it to ground, they are streaming towards goal. That ball hung up in the air for too long. Allowed O'Grady, I think it
I
was,
don't
or
think
maybe
I'd like
Kelly.
O'Grady closing in on me either.
No.
Jeez, he's a strong man.
Nichols got crunched. Made to earn it. It's a good old Spud for all the ear massage. Inside 50 now. Off hands. Great handball, Delahunty. Squaring ball. Arnold.
clever.
That's sensational football.
One of the plays of the day there from Patworth. Geez, that was clever. And the dishing off and the cleanliness of that ball, the efficiency was superb.
It's his first game for Reynella, Damon Arnold. Played for the Unley Jets last year.
My mail is that he's a returning Reynella player, Ollie. Won a BNF when he was 19.
19?
Yeah.
I wonder how old he is now.
I'm going to go in the mid-20s.
Mid-20s.
Slight angle here, Damon Arnold. Showed plenty of skill today.
Oh, he's hit the post.
You can take that BNF back.
So Damon Arnold only played the one B grade game for Nan last year, and is a former state country rep in the 2019. So that kick will come back with a bit of interest. Smart mark there by Potter. Pokes it in the direction of Stanford. Couldn't take the mark. So Delahunty, and the umpire's frowned an arm chop to Delahunty. So free kick, as I said earlier, Delahunty ready to explode. And he's almost ready to win the game off his own booty at Delahunty.
He is, but you don't see many arm chops in SFL level. Not paid at least, too. So very interesting decision there, but probably true decision.
So Delahunty right behind us. We're right behind him here from the broadcast position for filming footy. Hope you're enjoying the action. Opening round here for the Southern Football League. And as Delahunty in his first game in black and white and a bit of a spray, heads to the car park. No score on the Sportal scoreboard, which favours Reynella by 7 points. Time on premiership term here.
Bloody put that one in the book. With pen too. Straight in front. Got to put that through, Delahunty. That's all right. Short kick in for Port Noarlunga. 24 minutes gone, as you can see on the Sportal scoreboard. 8-point ball game. Maxi Savage taking his time there in the back pocket. Launches a long one.
Oh.
Salai. Big launch. Singh tried to hack it forward. Couldn't get any purchase on it. There is a pack of players around it, as there has been for most of the afternoon. It's been very rare we've seen open passages of play. When we have, it's often created goals. Highly contested. Murphy head under it. Making it known to the umpire he got clobbered, but the umpire doesn't want to pay a free kick. Slow to his feet, but he's eventually back there. Shermer and Zalai. Shermer's had a fair share of that battle. Singh. Ball spills out.
Ooh.
Didn't have it. Umpire plays advantage. Murphy the one taking it. Nichols. Sproul.
Oh, look at this.
Ran past it. Fell in Nichols' lap. They are charging forward with interest here, Port Noarlunga, but they couldn't get it out.
It was
Nichols
there for
did well.
Sproul.
Yeah, we're held up by the Wineflies defence there because they were out.
And they flood back. They've got Reed as a spare. About 30 from home. Shermer and Zalai. Zalai needs a launch, and he gets it. Only as far as Davies, who clears. Cook, he's had a good few minutes.
Ooh.
Taken high. Umpire was blindsided. One-on-one here for Delahunty and Savage. Ball comes to ground. Delahunty, socket forward. Rodriguez. Kicking in danger, says the umpire.
Oh, geez,
A
that's
reprieve for Jaden Close. Will he go straight down Main Street, Matty Gale?
I think he has to. I think this is the last time to make hay while the sun shines. But he comes out to our broadcast position and finds your man Singh, who's got the leap there. Cop one in the snog, in the noggin. Great work by Shermer playing the roving role. In our first game, great work there by James Howley. His kick smothered. Going off the deck with a bit of an area there was Carmen. Ball floating and buzzing around in the middle. Geez, they're throwing themselves in pretty willingly, the boys. Goes out towards Carpenter. Needs to be clean. Can't pick it up. Needs to go back for another viewing. Quick kick out of the contest. There's a free player out in Kapla. And there's the siren beating all comers. So we've got an absolute nail-biter on our hands. It's three-quarter time here at the Port Noarlunga Oval. It's an 8-point margin favouring the away team. We'll bring back the final quarter action after these key messages.
At ProBuild Australia, we specialise in insurance building repairs, restoration and make-safes, delivering fast, reliable service when it matters most. Whether it's storm, fire, water damage or just a broken window, PBA has you covered across South Australia, Victoria, New South Wales and Queensland. Trusted by insurers, backed by quality and built on performance.
Air Diffusion Agencies are the market leader in air conditioning component manufacturing. Using state-of-the-art technologies to design and innovate, they have the largest range of components for all air conditioning, heating and ventilation systems. Air Diffusion are proudly Australian family-owned, trading for over 30 years and employing over 150 experienced staff. Servicing all of Adelaide with 3 huge locations, they really are your one-stop air conditioning trade centre. So demand Air Diffusion products in your home or business.
At ProBuild Australia, we specialise in insurance building repairs, restoration and make-safes, delivering fast, reliable service when it matters most. Whether it's storm, fire, water damage or just a broken window, PBA has you covered across South Australia, Victoria, New South Wales and Queensland. Trusted by insurers, backed by quality and built on performance.
Air Diffusion Agencies are the market leader in air conditioning component manufacturing. Using state-of-the-art technologies to design and innovate, they have the largest range of components for all air conditioning, heating and ventilation systems. Air Diffusion are proudly Australian family-owned, trading for over 30 years and employing over 150 experienced staff. Servicing all of Adelaide with 3 huge locations, they really are your one-stop air conditioning trade centre. So demand Air Diffusion products in your home or business.
Three-quarter time right here on Filming Footy at the Port Noarlunga Oval. Thanks to ProBuild Australia and the team living it up over in LA watching this game. The Aussie in it, Hackham, Pike and Palmy down at the redevelopment and Air Diffusion Agencies. It is three-quarter time, of course. 8-point ball game, and we have a thriller on our hands. Port Noarlunga look maybe to fall by the wayside in that second half after Reynella had a really imposing and ominous second term, 5 goals to 1, and they hit back with 4-1 of their own, and they are only down by 8 points. There's coach in picture there, Adam Hartlett. What do you think he's been saying at three-quarter time there, Ollie?
I think he's about keeping no momentum. Port Noarlunga, they came out at halftime looking sensational, so you've got to try and get the same energy around. Whereas Milo, they called Reynella's coach, not sure why he's called Milo. It's just about using the wind. They've got the wind, they've got the advantage, they should be home.
Matty, do you think it comes down to pressure? Just keep the pressure up.
It will for Port Noarlunga, yes. If they're going to come over the top of Reynella into the breeze, they'll need to sustain some really solid pressure and get the pressure meter going. We're going to start up in the middle here. It is Stanford versus Salai. Stanford getting the ascendancy in the ruck. And the midfielders have been rock solid this afternoon from both teams. Neither midfield really getting on top. As you suspect with these conditions, it's been a pretty tricky day for all comers. We've got a bit of rinse and repeat in the action. Stanford up against Salai. Stanford gets the tap on this occasion. Murphy does the tackling, and we'll have another little rinse and repeat. No real standouts for best on ground honours. They'll get the Archie Songs and the world famous filming footy beanie by Custom ORTC. Good smothers at ground level. You can see the pressure pressure meter building. The umpire's found a free kick. Howley will dish off to Murphy. Gets on that trusty left foot. Goes in the direction of Sproul. Reads it nicely. Work both defenders under the ball. He's got a runner. Quick little jab inside. Forward 50. Heading for Carpenter. He needs to be clean below his feet. Singh also lurking. Some great work at round level. Oh. And there's that hold on the ball. Now the umpire said, my ball. We're about 25 from home here for the Divers.
The kids in the truck were peeling for a high one there.
It's
for
about
Kaplan.
9 of them.
Yeah. Hopefully they don't have the keys. Clobbered. Had his head over it. Kapler took him high. Bit overzealous there was Jaden Kapler.
Knowing the people down south, one of them definitely has the keys.
Dylan Rosa, the recipient of that free kick. Slightly dangerous ball, but Damon Arnold had an acre of space.
Oh.
Again, met high and solidly by Billy Cook, but he shrugged off the tackle. Wasn't Billy Cook, my apologies. He was the one flying for the mark. Good hold-up play by James Howley. Tackling Brad Potter. 55 from home for Reynella. Good transition footy there from the Wine Flyers. Zalai does the roving duties. Sproul kept it in front and brought it to ground. Only as far as Nichols, though. Rosa was strong with a looping handball. Nichols, check side. Rodriguez ended up dropping it straight through his breadbasket. Sold a bit of candy. Chipping ball inside. Rosa, and they're away. If they play on, he doesn't elect to play on. He goes to the outer side.
So Rosa goes to centre half forward. Great positioning. Excellent work by Davies. It was well flighted there. And great vision. And Davies looks to play on immediately. He's got one on in the pocket. Clever kick.
Sloppy.
And that was sloppy manning up. McGuinness just sits under it. Tricky pocket. You'll need to do a little bit of right to left and really work this one through and hit that post because the breeze is very tricky down this both ends, but particularly with this pocket that he's kicking from. So sizing it up. A terrific day out. Car horns going. And he slotted it straight through the middle. And a perfect start here for one of the Wine Flies in the last term. Got a very, very handy 2-goal buffer now, Jack.
It's his third of the day too, Lachlan McGuinness.
He's an interesting sort of player. We saw him here on the boundary line at the start of the third term. He's a real wiry character. Can potentially play above his height, but he's a whippet as well. He's got that interesting frame about him that makes it very hard for matchups.
Has some tough shots too, but he's put through, so he's got a good kick on him as well.
Premiership player back in 2024 and played his whole career at the Reynella Wine Flyers there. Lachlan McGuinness had a superb afternoon with 3 majors.
Stanford and Zalai in the ruck. 2 big dogs trying to will their sides home. Ball bobbling around. Davies. Bit like a rugby scrum there. Umpire will have it for a repeat stoppage. What have the Cockle Divers got? 14 points down. Almost go out on a limb here and say if they're going to win, they're probably going to need to keep Reynella goalless and then, of course, kick 3 of their own. Another goal here for Reynella. Might just sew it up. Against the Breeze, it's going to be difficult to kick 4 unanswered. Stanford soars, wins the tap down. Lawley wasn't letting Kelly go anywhere, and that's 2 quick ball-ups in a row. Zalai, Murphy in there. Tried to get a free kick, couldn't quite. Arched the back, did the Port Noarlunga player, did well. Handball was ill-directed though.
Ooh.
Kobe Stewart. You thinking sling tackle? You thinking sling
Well,
tackle?
I
Yeah,
just
they're a
don't
bit
like it
dangerous.
when the head gets knocked down. As soon as the head goes into the grass, it's
Yeah, it was
dangerous.
a bit of a jolting of the forearm with that one. So Salai gets the tap down ruck pretty well. He's got better as the games wore on. Quick kick out of the contest. Looks like we've got a free back here. We should go to Lockie Murphy. So no free downfield. So all players will get that opportunity to get behind the ball. Murphy clever with ball in hand. Little chipper. True centre half forward. Kelly pumps it inside forward 50. Sproul with the Dukes out and needed to. He's going to have to kick 5 for the Cockerel Divers to win. He's already got the 3 for. And will line up for his 4th.
He's been a big player today. He's stood up when Portland need him. And hopefully for them that he keeps doing that.
So 3 second half goals here to Zach Sprout. Goalless in the first half. 4-time leading goal kicker there at the GWS Giants. And featured 17 times at the top flight for the GWS Giants. But back to the middle, he needs to slot this one through if the Crocodiles are any chance, and he puts it straight over the goal umpires at full measure. And exactly what the Crocodiles needed on the Sportal scoreboard. That lead is now back to 8 points. But they're kicking into a mighty breeze here with Port Noarlunga. And the stage is very well set here for the remainder of this game, Jackson.
Has the breeze built, or do you reckon it's just been a constant this match?
I think it's actually sharpened to straight down the ground. I think it was going more cross breeze first half. And in that third quarter, you can see that. I've just been looking at those key flags behind the goals. They were almost sideways earlier. Now they're a bit more straightened up.
Wonder if Tom Dix is going to come back onto the ground there. He's got the
No,
jumper on. He's gone.
He gone. He looks like
I'm not sure if it was a sort of a player assistant coach type setup, and he's just got the jacket on. Anyway, Zalai wins another hit out, so he's been influential in this second half. Over the head of Close. Dragged down was Rodriguez. O'Grady.
Good matchup, those two.
60 from home for Reynella. Good hit out there by Shermer. Rodriguez with the one hand, sharked it. Spilled out though. Murphy shoveled out a handball. Umpire says, no, it's going the way of Port Noarlunga. Oh, I signalled the wrong way. Okay, so he did call the throw.
Oh, they've had overtime.
So, James Papworth is the recipient. Good tackle. Just tried to shovel out a handball, did Murphy. Delahunty's working. It's in his direction. Marshman, good spoil.
Jeez,
Does he keep it in? It's a thumping spoil. Trezise has got a bit of work to do. Little Chisler, well done. Spilled it before he'd earn it. Ortman, he was dragged down without the footy, was the Port Noarlunga player, Lucas Marshall.
Ortman's done really well today for his debut.
All of the kids can hold their heads up high, I think.
Yeah,
I
really
think they've done
encouraging
well.
signs.
Yeah, certainly for Port Noarlunga and the couple for Reynella as well. Some great talent in the Southern Football League. So many of them ply their trade at South Adelaide. Murphy tries to burrow threw it out. That was a rugby throw. Umpire was blindsided. Singh, dangerous ball inboard. Lawley worked underneath it. Well done, McGuinness. Arched the back, found Arnold, who was all on his own in transition. So he should have the favour of the breeze taking it. He's going to have to probably hang it left-hand goalpost, I would have thought.
He's very confident on the distance.
Wind's going. He's been super today in his first game back for the club in a few years, Damon Arnold. Hangs it out at that left-hand goalpost. Works back beautifully.
And what a wonderful return here by Damon Arnold. Last play for Reynella back in 2019. Only the one Magoo's game for Nan last year in a 2019 SA Country representative player. He's very good at the level, and it'll be a very welcome return here for the coaching staff of Reynella. Be delighted with his impact. He's courageous and sets up goals and can slot them through as well.
I feel like he's putting his name up for the Best on Ground award, Matty.
Yeah, he's a late firmer. 14 points the margin on the Sportal scoreboard. Game's still on, well and truly on, but another one here from the Wineflies might suggest she's good night, Irene. Back to the middle. Strong tackling. Been a feature from both teams. And the umpiring's been absolutely superb from Alex Kerr and Josh Niederer. Both haven't put a foot wrong all day. Good slap out of the middle by Shermer. Some smart work. Twisting, turning. Ball smothered off the boot there of Ortman. All the debutants have battled manfully today. Well above their maturity level. Singh, clever punch. Gets it out to Carmen. Quick kick around the corner. Singh off the deck in the direction of... Oh, could have been in the back there of Hedger. Put the big frame up. They're looking for a dish off. Carpeny sells some candy. Last line of defence and easy pickings in the end to Rosa. Would have been barely the 15, Jack, but they've given him the paid mark. So Rosa sizes it up, goes out to that far side in the direction of Marshman. Been a bit quieter this... second half, Papworth comes off his hands. Been busy on that half forward line. The umpire says my ball. So left half forward here for the Cockle Divers, who are a desperate need for a goal, Jack.
They definitely are. 11 minutes gone, final term. You're watching on Filming Footy. Thanks for your viewership this afternoon. I think I'd rather be on the couch watching on Filming Footy in these conditions in the south of Adelaide this afternoon. Ball in dispute. Sprower sits upon Rosa. Did well to not give away a free kick there, actually.
How many goals will Reynella need to kick to finish off this game, you reckon?
One, that's
One?
it, I reckon. One and it's done. That's my call.
They're not going to kick 4. They'll have to kick 5 if they get another goal ahead.
Papworth down the line. Plenty of bodies for Port Noarlunga. Marshman did well to bring it to ground. Gang tackled. Souter, good tackle.
Yeah, one more would take the margin out to over 3.5, which means they'd have to kick 4. Not going to do that.
Kirkland had some impressive moments in this second half. Arches the back, put it in front of Delahunty. Hit the deck before it hit his chest. Savage. Boundary throw in here for Reynella. Oh, no. Jesus. Lucas Marshall, this is for Port Noarlunga. He's going to send it down the line. Sprower, good spoil, Shermer. Off hands, got the handball away. Does he have time to steady and find a kick? No, he doesn't.
Oh,
his
crunch.
handball put Ortman under all sorts of heat. And Rodriguez crunched him.
So 1 goal away, you'd think, Reynella, from sealing the deal on the opening round of the Southern Footy League for 2026. Your 2024 premiers and 2025 premiers fighting it out here in this opening round. The umpire calls my ball. Left half forward here for the Reynella Wineflies. 14 points is the margin as we approach the 13.5-minute phase of this final term. Clever work at ground level. Little dish out there. Smart work in the end by Kelly. Oh, Kapler made to earn it. Goes back into the traffic on his left and was brought down. Clever mark there in the end. And O'Grady will come out towards our broadcast position. Finds the strongly built Ryan Kelly. Pound for pound, he's as strong as anyone in this league. Clever kick, finds his intended target, plays on immediately as Ortman. Not his best kick with the golden fist, a feature there from Lewis Bird. It could have been taken high. Umpire has got the sun directly into his eyes and says, my ball. Right on the top of the 50 here for Port Noarlunga.
We've had a lot to deal with today in terms of the weather, the rain, the hail, the sun.
Turn the lights off. Don't need them. Bird invited all sorts of pressure just moments ago with the spoil when he probably could have marked. And now Port Noarlunga have a chance to do some damage, but they can't make the most of it right on this occasion. They've worked at the half forward. Clobbered after he kicked it was Lawley. Umpire, they've called advantage. Marshman. No, they haven't.
No, I didn't see an advantage. It's coming back.
Dylan Hunty has to track the ball down. Slight stop in play to get this ball back. So Lawley slipped as he kicked it, and the Port Noarlunga player was just A little bit overzealous in his attempt to corral and got him high. Ball now with Bodie Salter. Beautiful looking ball in the Delahunty direction. Whoa. Wonder if there was front on contact there.
Don't think I've ever seen front on contact paid in the SFL.
Okay, well...
Hey, it's a rule. Pay it when you see it.
Yeah, no, it is. And after that deliberation, it didn't touch a set of hands, so Max Savage has got it for the inbound last disposal deep in his defensive pocket.
South are just coming to the bench there with a little bit of limp, just grimacing in pain. Hopefully nothing too concerning for him. Maybe a little corky or a little bit of crampage. Good punch back into the fraying forward 50. Brought down immediately there was Potter. Swamped. So we'll have a ball up right on the 50-metre arc here for the Reynella Wineflies in a juxtaposition 101 for this first W of the season. Great work at ground level. Patworth been impressive. Dishes off. Excellent work by Kirkland. A little wrap around the corner towards Marshman. Goes back into the corridor. Delahunty couldn't take it with him. Snap over the shoulder. Clever kick. And there's Goodnight Irene. And a great goal here by Bradley Potter. Slots through his second. And it was only a matter of time, I think, before that final nail in the coffin was put through. But Bradley Potter slotting through his second. Coming off 27 in the 2025 campaign. And an impressive finish by him.
I don't see them getting beaten now, Reynella. It's been a really good performance coming to an away game to the Premiers, unveiling their flag. Really happy, very positive what they've produced.
Geez, the lovely people here at Port Noarlunga looking after us in the filming footy box. Just got a few cockle diver ales just being dropped off. Can't wait to crack one of those after the game.
Yeah, good.
After a couple of hard-earned hours here on the mic. Thank you very much to Port Noarlunga and their hospitality this afternoon. Of course, if you missed it after the game, make sure you check out Matty Gale's chat with Fitzy. He always entertaining, Ryan Fitzy Fitzgerald. He had a few one-liners for you, didn't he, Matty?
He was absolutely enthralling and exactly what you think about in real life. He's exactly that guy. He's a tremendous character. So they dish out the back. Sinclair whacks it on the boot with hope more than anything. Excellent mopping up by Rosa. He's been important off half-back. Goes towards, Arnold. Let's run under the ball a little slightly there. Could come back into action. Here's Rodriguez. Dishes off to Patworth. They're going to build some momentum, those players, throughout the season. Rodriguez and Arnold and Patworth, geez, the fleet-footed half-forward line. Once they hit their straps, it's going to be hard to stop this season, Jack, one would feel.
And I reckon it's one of those half-forwards that might be receiving the Archies this afternoon. They've all been instrumental.
Shermer gets the boundaries throw in. Patworth doing the wrapping up in the tackling department. He's our baked beans tackler of the week this week. Patworth been in scintillating touch. So the sting somewhat taken out of it after that last goal from Potter. Port Noarlunga trying to work the ball along that boundary side on the far side. Again, Copley just another tradesman-like performance from him. Sproul under the pump. Dishes off. Kapler been quieter than we would have anticipated. Eventually gets the ball down the line. Fantastic work by the defensive unit for the Wineflies. Kapler gets it back. And we'll only go as far as Nichols, who's been impressive.
Yep,
He's got a bit of Ed Richards about him, but a younger version and a slightly framier version. But nonetheless, he's been impressive.
He goes down the line. Marshman's going to float across. Couldn't quite impact. Ball's brought to ground. Kelly had a stack of it today. Only as far as Marshman. Potter. He's got Arnold streaming forward of him. Does he get in the way of Delahunty? He lets it go for Liam Delahunty.
Should have been Arnold.
Yeah.
Should have been. Yeah.
In a couple of weeks' time, it will be. They're just working that. They'll massage that and get used to it. The Delahunty forward line aspect, I think, is a big signing for the Wineflies. That's a huge tick, and it just gives Marshman a lot more flexibility.
Yeah,
Look at that tap over the back there by Marshman. Didn't quite find a teammate. Kelly, handball to no one in particular. Potter, can he get his third? Gets a handball out instead. Rodriguez, big tackle. Kelly and Murphy, the two big guns, trying to work something for Port Noarlunga. His ball, high up and under. Off hands, Tyler Davies. This would be great reward. Big day as a skipper, had a stack of the footy, but only threw for a minor score. So
Is
we
he
have a
in
20...
MVP convention or contention?
He
Could he
is-
get the flippers?
He is in MVP
flippers.
contention there, Tyler Davies. Had a stack of it.
So 21 points to margin on the Sportal scoreboard. 20 minutes down, final term. And the sting has been taken out of this affair. And a very impressive Reynella Wineflies will head home with the chocolates this afternoon. Port Noarlunga will continue to grow. 6 debutants today, most of them around that 16, 17-year-old age bracket. Oh, some terrific work there. He's been impressive down there in defence, Whittaker. So they stroll out, long kick in the direction of Marshman. Got the Dukes out. Lovely mark by the big man. Plays on. Delahunty will come from the square, one-on-one. Does he stay up? His opponent's gone down. I think he's been shot, his opponent. He's gone down with cramp. And a great pick up there in the end by Ortman, who's been impressive on a second. Oh, it's his second game, Ortman, sorry. Made his debut last year, and the player is still down. So Delahunty's direct opponent still down with a bit of cramp, and his hamstring's almost shot there, young Maxi Savage. You know, you've earned your weight in gold today, Maxi Savage. Comes out towards Maxi Savage. He's going to have to move and close. He's been running straight lines all day for the Cockle Divers, and he can hold his head held high. Close. He's been one of the best defenders down there for the Cockle Divers.
Has been. Provided plenty of offensive drive as well.
He certainly has.
Rodriguez comes to the bench for a well-earned spell. He's been super. One of those half forwards for the Wineflies. Created plenty of havoc for the Port Noarlunga defence. Marshman, man in front, grabbed it, handballed to a teammate, but it was intercepted, brought to ground. On top of that one is Papworth. The umpire says,
This will be about
it's mine.
2,000 ball up for today.
Oh, tell me about it. Marshman. Snapping ball.
Try that again. So Port Noarlunga have they disappointed? I don't think they've quite disappointed, but Reynella have certainly shined today. It's been a really positive day for the Wineflies, which is a very interesting animal. It's not an animal.
Yeah, I've never heard of a Winefly, to be honest.
No, I'm not really sure. I think it's got to do with the vineyards, maybe.
Maybe. Murphy trying to generate something for Port Noarlunga. He's found close. Now it's with Ortman. They've transitioned this well to centre wing. Ooh. Standing tall was Kelly. Umpire said it was a fair spoil. Sproul on the lead. Good spoil by his defender. He's got Singh charging forward of him. Sproul delivers a laser-like pass inside 50. Continuing his run forward was Cook. He's kept it in front. Still, I don't know how. Soccer off the deck. He missed it. And it was through for a minor score before he had a chance to get foot to ball anyway. So if they were to kick one there, it would have made things just a touch interesting.
Not so sure about that. It's been a very professional win. Fingers crossed for Reynella. Very professional win.
With the ball, Dylan Rosa from half back. With Cam Kirkland inside the defensive pocket. Chips it over the top to Brad Potter.
So Potter kicks out of his defensive 50. Marshman in juxtaposition 101. And pulls down his opponent as he's dragged to the ground. We'll have a... Oh, his opponent's gone down again.
There's one back there. Look at old mate.
Starting to go down like flies here. The Port Noarlunga players cramping up left, right and centre. Although the heat has been in the contest, not so much in the weather. The players going down with cramp in this opening round of the season. And what a season we've got at our disposal here in the Southern Football League. One of the strongest leagues in country SA. Great ruck work there by Stanford, who's been a very handy second ruck. Gets another tap there, Stanford on cue. Some clever ball movement at ground level. Eventually get the kick out. Goes past Arnold. It's excellent smothering work. Could come back to Arnold here. And I think we've almost gone out of tarmac. So running out of tarmac there was Kirkland. He's wrapped up. And it'll be a free kick here to James Howley. So Howley, a little poker, goes through Carpenter's hands. Quick clearing hand pass. Oh, players going in left, right and centre. Carpenter almost wrapped up, just avoids that would-be tackler. And Hedger caught behind, and a terrific mark in the end by Whittaker, who's been a rocket for Gibraltar in that defensive unit, Jack.
I went to the Rock of Gibraltar in the off-season, Matty.
Did you?
It's a big bloody rock.
There you go. I use it pretty regularly in there.
You do. It's one of your
Philly
lines.
footy commentary box.
When I went there, I could not wait to... I was thinking the whole time, I can't wait to see Matty and let him know that I've been to the Rock of Gibraltar. Oh, no.
Oh.
Potter
Potter
holds
with
it
a
up.
bit of icing on the cake by the look of it.
Yeah, he should chip it over the top too to a hard-working and hard-running Aiden Seacombe, who is one of these young under-17s coming through in the Southern Football League. And for Reynella, as the siren goes, and this would be a great reward for the young man, who's had a pretty solid outing. So it is Reynella taking home the victory, just waiting to confirm this margin. It's currently 20 points.
Has he got the distance? Has he got the accuracy?
I reckon he should.
Yeah, I'm going to tip him too.
To put the icing on the cake for the Wine Flyers, he's pushed it to the far side.
Fantastic performance overall. Absolutely brilliant from Reynella. Right from the word go, they put themselves in front. They had a bit of a scare in the third quarter, but ultimately really professional last term, I reckon. So we'll move on there with Seacombe there. Just taking a look at the Iron Bank score. Hasn't quite got in, but they were 55 points up at half-time. Port Lunga will be playing Morfett Vale next week, which will be an interesting matchup. But the three of us, we all tipped Reynella before the match, and they've gotten home reasonably comfortably in the end. A 20-point margin, if I can do my maths there.
21-point margin, just with that late, that after the siren point there for Aiden Seacombe. Don't go anywhere, footy fans. We'll have the wrap-up of the game still to come. And only in a matter of minutes, Matty Gale has just gone out onto the ground to get the winner of the Archie's Best On Ground Award. They'll win a pair of Archie's thongs, one of the major sponsors of Filming Footy. And
who's he chosen?
I don't want to give things away too early.
All right.
I reckon some of the names that can put their names up for it, though. Whittaker in defence, been rock solid. Davies, Potter, Arnold, McGuinness, and he probably faded out of the game in the first half, but Bailey Marshman looked like he was going to take the game by the scruff of the neck in that first half, didn't he?
He did, yeah. He was really teaching Max Savage a lot of lessons. It was a hard-fought first half for him.
So the Reynella players are in a tight huddle. It looks like a player-led huddle as well, which is, as a coach, is something you want to see.
It's like it's a fifth quarter, the way they're acting.
Yeah. So it's back to the drawing board for Port Noarlunga. Adam Hartlett, Ryan Fitzgerald, and the rest of the Port Noarlunga crew, who there's definitely some positive signs for them to take.
There's a lot to love.
Yeah, yep, agreed. So Matty Gale's just making his way to the commentary camera position to have a chat with our Best On Ground winner. I don't want to give too many things away, but this man kicked a late goal, so a good reward for some hard work that he had.
Yeah.
For all of the afternoon, and we will cross down to Matty Gale in just a second with the Macklemore big puffer jacket on. He's looking sublime.
The salmon t-shirt.
Yep.
I'm not sure about the colour.
And they are ready to go.
Congratulations, you've got the much sought after Archies and the Custom ORTC Benny. So congratulations, mate. Well done.
Cheers. Appreciate it.
Mate, you've come back into the league this year. You're a state country representative player. You've come back to the Reynella Wine Flyers. Had a year off last year. No rustiness at all, mate.
A little bit, but it's a big pre-season, so it got me get back into it. So hopefully we can keep going and get a win again next week.
Mate, where's your best position on the field? We noticed that you're a real shark on that half-forward line. You can play high half-forward. You can sneak around. Love a goal. I think you got 3 from
From him, do you think he added something a bit different
He
to
did
Port
because he
Noarlunga?
could play right across the ground.
Yep.
He spent time in the middle. He started at half-back. He went forward. Lockie Murphy's an all-round, really unique player for the Southern Football League.
Do you think his pace is a point of difference for the Southern Footy League compared to the other teams?
Yes, there's a lot of... I think every team's got a couple of players that can really turn it on, energy-wise and pace-wise. Murphy's definitely going to be a big player for Port Noarlunga.
Probably has the combination of the pace, but then also the poise and a bit of... just looks like he had an extra half a second out there at sometimes, especially around the contest.
125 games for the Crows, so what do you expect?
Yeah,
really?
exactly. Beautiful left foot ball there by Bradley Potter, which was his second goal of the day, and he had an outstanding outing. He was one of the ones who potentially could have put his name up in lights for the Archie Stonks. Bailey Marshman, this was his third of the day. In the third term, that was the second term, I think.
Second term,
yeah, when they were
Marshman
kicking with the
was.
wind. Tyler Davies, he was also super.
That was a very clever goal there by, I believe it was Potter, who could just roll it through. It's always risky when you try the dribble kick, but that one was really nicely executed. And then Sproul again for one of his many goals. He's 3. And here's our man.
It is Damon Arnold.
So that was the last quarter there. Probably the sealer, you would say, from Damon Arnold, who
Definitely was the sealer.
set Reynella on their way to victory.
Great highlights package there, brought to you by Dartfish, of course. And Matty Gale, Damon Arnold, the worthy recipient of the Best On Ground award there, mate.
Yeah, Damon Arnold had a year off last year. Played the one reserve game with the Nam Bremer club, and there was no rust at all with him. He just got better and better, and he was running on top of the ground at the end of the game. And he's a different point of difference for these guys, and I suspect with Delahunty and Arnold in that half forward line, geez, they're going to be hard to beat. The Reynella Wineflies, and they're set for a real resurgence this year, and expect them to be at the pointy end of the season when the whips are cracking.
They always are.
Incredible game.
From some of the other teams across the league, who do you think? These two look like they'll be clear sort of top 3, 4.
Yeah.
Who are the other couple of teams that can challenge?
In the last 10 years, Flagstaff have won 4, 5, 6 premierships. They've been beyond incredible. But Happy Valley, they really should have won last year's grand final, and they didn't. So they'll be disappointed in themselves, but hungry to go back again. For me, they're probably the 4 teams to look out for. Alec Cove are generally up and down. Christie's Beach are generally pretty good, but maybe not quite top 2 or 3 worthy. It's certainly close. It gets closer and closer every year.
Have any of your sources got back to you with and around the grounds? Update from some
I've
of the
had
other
a bit
games,
of a look.
or?
Unfortunately, no, we haven't got any sources.
No.
See, journos are letting himself down.
That is not to worry. Phil Herden will do his Southern Footy League wrap either tonight or over the weekend, I'm sure, and we'll get those scores out to all the Filming Footy fans as soon as possible. Thanks to ProBuild Australia and the team at ProBuild, as we mentioned quite a few times throughout the coverage. They were watching on from Los Angeles, so 1, I'd love to be in Los Angeles right now, and 2, thanks for tuning in and thanks for your sponsorship of Filming Footy and this great league. Aussie Inn down at Hackham, redevelopment done there. Get your pint palmy from the Aussie Inn. Air Diffusion Australia, Archie's Thongs, and of course, Filming Footy. A few thank yous before we wrap up as well. Thanks to John Douglas and the rest of the team at Filming Footy for letting us do what we do every single Saturday. Absolutely love it. First of 2026, and we can't wait to bring you much more Southern Footy League action and many more footy games from across all of South Australia and Australia. To the production team behind the scenes that bring you all the great pictures and all the great graphics, Sir James Moody, Jack, Jonathan, our producer, and Yushin up on the camera up top. Them two are definitely doing the hard yards. Out in the elements today, it was pouring with rain at times, gale force winds. Speaking of Gale as well, the man to my left here, Matty Gale, thanks for joining in today, mate. Absolute pleasure to be back on the mic with you.
Yep.
And to Ollie, thanks for jumping in today, mate, and all the best for the rest of the year with the Southern Football League. Myself and Matt will be back to the Adelaide Footy League next week, but you'll have Phil Erden here with you. Have you met Phil before? You have met him before, haven't you?
I've commentated the pre-season with him. We'll hold down the fort.
Yeah, beautiful. Absolutely no doubt that you two will be great. Phil, sorry you couldn't be here today, mate. I heard the wife had to sort of just make sure that you weren't out the house for an extra week there, mate. But great pre-season work covering the Southern Footy League, and can't wait to see all the other games that you produce from here on out for the rest of the year. So, fellas, I think that's just about it here. Wrapping up the final score once again, it was 8-5-53 Port Noarlunga, the unveiling of their drought-breaking flag. Unfortunately, it wasn't the party that they wanted it to be. Reynella spoiling that 11-8-74, taking home the win by 21 points. Thanks for tuning in today on Filming Footy. Stick around for more footy action in the not-too-distant future. We'll be right back with more on here on Filming Footy.